Hey King, I'm trying to let people come in before I start going in, but I really want to start off with just saying that if a white person is ever talking to you about white supremacy, pay the fuck attention. Because white people cannot see white supremacy. They don't know what white supremacy is. They can't tell if white supremacy is being enacted. They can't. They don't have that range. It's not possible. And so it's something that I have to start off with because I feel like it connects everything that I'm about to come here and say. But it's been on my heart. I was in the kitchen this morning. What up, Michaela? Um, oh, hey, what up, Capricorn? Okay, January 18th. Okay, Cuspy, I see you. Shout out to all the Capricorns in the building. Hey, I hope some of us are doing better than others. This Sag season has been silly as hell. But one thing's for sure, this Sag season has been hilarious. Like I feel like if I'm not doing nothing, I'm laughing. I'm laughing a lot because a lot of things are not making sense and are not adding up, but it's okay. I'm glad that we can come here and talk because at the end of the fucking day, I know I'm not alone in feeling these feelings. And that's part of me motherfucking resisting and part of me motherfucking feeling alive, honestly. Like, if people weren't validating what I was feeling and weren't holding me in this moment, it would be harder to go through all of this. So I just want to put that out there that, like, I'm trying to just maintain communicative, maintain curiosity, maintain being open, and maintain being transparent about my situation because I'm not trying to ever be in a situation where I'm like not trying to see other people's experiences or where they're coming from. Like, that's really not where I'm at. But at the same time, I feel like I want to be super transparent that, like, I don't feel safe. I feel like white supremacy is really motherfucking tricky. It's very fucking manipulative and it's very fucking hurtful. And I've just been trying my best to fucking like just survive and make everything make sense for me. But I already know that like I'm dealing with one confirmed ass narcissist for sure, and someone that I feel like is employing narcissistic behavior in order to, just survive, just make it. But between me and you, like something that really stood out when I was like having that conversation, because the last time I was here, I was having a texting conversation with the person that I'm living with. And then when they got home, we had a combo. And the combo was honestly really disheartening and really like, it was violent. And it sucked because in the moment, in the middle of the conversation, their child said, speak in a kinder tone. And they were like, I am, to their child. And I just started crying because it's like, you're not even listening to the person that has no dog in this fight. Like, this child has a home, they're in their safe space. They have no reason to check you about your tone being unkind. They don't even really care if I stay or go, babe. The baby already told me, like, when you leave, like, make sure you take all your stuff. Like, the baby is like not like on some like I want you to stay. So if the baby is saying like you're not being kind when you're talking to this person, I just feel like that was a moment, but it didn't it didn't hit for them. But when I started crying, I just tapped back the fuck into my shit because I was like, honestly, the baby is seeing this and hearing this. So I'm not about to fucking play and act like, and exactly, and that's the thing that's pissing me off. Cause like honestly, when they are the one who had told me we can have a conversation, and I was like, okay, and I wasn't thinking this would be the time because they were with their child, but like when are they not? Like their child goes to school during the week, so they took that moment to like tell me that if they saw me being more motivated, then like they would help me. And I was like, you literally have a house next door where I could go. Like, you could help me and help yourself. Like, no one's asking for a free house. I'm asking to pay you to live there. And you're basically telling me no. They're like, you don't have a job. And I'm sitting with the reality that the person upstairs doesn't have a job. The person I'm living with doesn't have a job. Everyone that's living in this household is doing whatever they can to make it. Some people have inheritance. Some people have access to wealth. Some people have access to community. Like, we're all doing what we can, not to mention the people that were living next door. One of them was working for me and the other one was working online. So it was just kind of like, what the hell? And they like the fact that they're saying like I would have or I could have housing, or they would help me, but they don't see any hustle. And then I literally said, hey, like, my friend who has a job is offering to, share the space with me and for us to pay to live there. And they were like, I'm not going to rent to Royal. Royal can't afford deposits. You didn't charge those white people deposits. But now all of a sudden you're making claims about what my friend can or can't do when they actually have it. Absolutely. And like, I literally was like, you're saying that like I'm not doing the things that you would do means that there's things that you think I should be doing, but you're not telling me them until now. I was like, and honestly, you're not, I was like, it's not even an enthusiastic yes for next door. So I don't even want to live there anymore. Like, I just feel like you're naming that you're people pleasing and not really thinking about what that really means. And then at another point they were saying like, I have an idea of what you could be doing and like not based on white supremacy. And I was like, actually it is. And they really had nothing to counter back with other than, I don't think you're a bad person. I don't think you're a bad person or anything like that. I just need a break. And it's like, why are we talking about me being a good or bad person? That has nothing to do with housing. Like, so it's like at the end of the day, like that conversation illuminated for me a lot. They also like at one point started talking about how like they had to like scrape and scrounge to get this house. And it's like, and I literally said to them, I was like, but you realize I don't have to suffer, right? Like you realize that like just because you suffered, it doesn't mean that I have to. Like just because you went through something doesn't mean, like if you're in a position to help me not suffer, I shouldn't have to suffer. And they just like, they had nothing to say. And I was like, honestly, I feel like we just have different philosophies and that's where we differ. So, and that's fine. But honestly, like I broke silence about like talking here, and the white lady upstairs, like I know she like watches my story and shit. I know that she'd be spying on me. And she literally like, here's how I know there's some drama today. I literally last night was out here and she walked by me with her hookup or something, and she's like, oh, I'm so rude. She's like trying to introduce me to a man in the middle of the dark, and I'm like, oh, you're good. I'm like, we're in the dark, so I was like, you're fine, nice to meet you, but like I'm not sitting here like I'm expected to know everybody that's here. That's not how I'm feeling. And then this morning she literally looked me in my fucking face and didn't say anything to me, and she's usually the one to be like, hello. I never say hello to her because again, since I call her people pleasing, I've just been like, let's be acquaintances. I don't need to be deeper than that with you. But I know today, I know that like they're probably gonna be like, oh, they're talking about us. I don't care. It's true. Like I am talking about y'all because this is fucking weird. It's weird. And even like telling me that like it's not on some white supremacy shit when you're literally a white looking fucking Mexican person, like you wouldn't know. And you would need to hear me tell you if that was happening. And to be honest, I wouldn't even be able to see all of it. And that's why I've been talking to my other friends who are black, who are like, yeah, this is some anti-black shit. This is some bullshit. Other white people validating that this is some fucking weird shit. And it's just like, honestly, like I said, I want to leave here. I'm not delusional about trying to stay here. That's not where I'm at. I really do want to leave, but I'm not trying to like leave and put myself in a more fucked up situation. And them talking about me going to a shelter when they have a whole empty house next door is just like that's really who you are, babes. Like you could have really just helped. She's like, oh, I want to help you succeed. I'm like, you could immediately. You could immediately help me succeed, immediately. But now you're talking about my friend saying that they can't afford deposits. I'm like, you don't know what they can afford. The fact that you have no curiosity tells me a lot. And it's just awkward because it's like they're talking about they don't think I'm a bad person. They don't think it's not that they don't like me. It's like, but what if I don't like you? Have you thought about that? Have you thought about this being an unlikable thing? Like, that's the thing about white supremacy, y'all. And that's why I started the video like this. White people don't fucking know what white supremacy is. They don't know. They have no fucking idea. So if a white person ever fixes their fucking lips to tell you that they don't think that they couldn't think about it. They can't think to that. That's not possible. If someone deep dark skin tells me that I'm being colorist, I can't sit here and be like, I can't think of colorism. I don't have the framework to understand or know. I could never, ever tell a deep dark skin person, well, I don't think I was being colorist. That's gaslighting. I could never think about being colorist very deeply. I could never think about it. It's not possible. Nobody white can really think deeply about their whiteness. It's situational, honestly. Like all the moments where people called me out about being or about saying things that were off, or about being in situations with white people that were off. There's things that I've done that let people know what type of time I'm on, and I have to hold that. And I feel like white people don't want to consider, and I don't know if they can. I don't know if they can, but there's so many moments where you're actually off as fuck and someone is just having to hold that shit or break silence and possibly be in a dangerous situation. So that's where I'm at with it. Like, I just feel like being in a dangerous situation when white people, like when white when white people start acting like they understand anti-blackness, you're in danger. Because that means that when you say, hey, this is unfolding, they're going to tell you shit like, oh, I don't think that that's some colonizer shit. It is, though. And now what? Because white people don't really want to hear that you're naming that some shit is colonizer type shit. So that's why I came here to say that. But once she started telling me that she struggled and scraped and scrounged to get into this house, it's like, oh, that's what it is. You think that I should be fucking, like, she, at one point, she's like, you could go down to McDonald's. No, I can't. At one point, we're sitting on her couch. She's like, can I get your ID for you? Can I pay for your birth certificate? I'm like, go ahead. Couldn't do it because all the information that you need, I still don't fucking all have. It's one of those things where it's like, even her trying to help me with all this privilege couldn't do shit. And I'm like, aren't we back at the square that I just told you where we were at? We are. And there was no moment where she's like, damn, honeybee, it's actually hard to get ID. There was not one moment where she actually acknowledged, like, wow, it makes sense why, like, you're disoriented and why things are kind of, like, wild for you because you're trying to get ID in a household where people are, like, wanting you to leave. So, and the timelines for all these things are not ones that she is caring about anymore. And it's like, that's fine. But, like, so yeah, like I said, like, if a white person can't even, like, go online and get, like, she, at one point, she's like, oh, your mom's gonna have to do that. I'm like, what mom? Like, please. Like, please. Like, it's awkward as fuck because I'm not trying to make it seem like this is on her and she should give so much of a fuck. Not at all. Like, if she don't, she don't. Like, it is what it is. Like, I just don't like the gesturing and the telling me, oh, I would help you if I saw you doing more. Never tells me what doing more is, but then tells me I should just have gone down to McDonald's and tried to get a job there. Okay. All right. Like, I don't think you understand how the world works, but it's okay. Like, I really think that, like, it was really revealing also when she said that, like, she's the friend that, like, people would share a GoFundMe for. She's the poorest friend in her friend group, and it's like, if you're not seeing how intersectionally you are not in this moment the poorest person, I don't know what to say. I really don't know what the fuck to say. And so that's really where I'm at. Like, I'm not trying to, like, make it seem like I'm fucking, like, uh, needing her to do much more for me. I just need her to, like, just not gaslight me, honestly, like, and tell me I'm not doing shit when I literally told you, Dominique, like, exactly, like, honestly, like, when I said that I was willing to live with a stranger and, like, literally teach him how to fucking read and write, I feel like that was a moment to maybe consider, like, you know, this bitch really wants to get the fuck up out of here. She's willing to do something that doesn't make any fucking sense for her to be doing. Like, why the fuck do I need to teach a white man how to read and write? Like, let's be honest. That doesn't make any fucking sense. That doesn't sound like something I should be doing. But do I feel like I have a choice? No. So I'm fucking willing to do any fucking thing for what the fuck ever I can. And that's what stresses me out about this whole thing is, like, I'm willing to put myself in all types of risky situations and I'm telling them and I'm making moves towards it and they're like, you're not doing enough. And it's like, no, I appreciate y'all for just hearing me and listening. Because, again, like, unfortunately, like, and it's so fucked up. It's so fucked up, but it's so true. Whenever white people do shitty stuff to you, that's when people give a fuck. It's really fucked up. You can be broke all the day long. You can be going through all the day long. Let you break silence about white people unfolding motherfucking settler colonial shit on you. Then people are like, oh, wow, let's help. It's really fucked up. I literally was sitting in the car with my friend being like, the only thing that's gonna help me is if she escalates. Like, that's the fucked up part about it. It's like she has to actually escalate on me for me to fucking be not harmed. Or not, I shouldn't even say not harmed. For me to not have to go through any more trauma, or I shouldn't even say that. For me to get certain support, white people have to do really fucked up shit to you, and it's really crazy. It's really crazy, but when you think about how we're all going through what white people have set up, and then you think about the stories of people who have gone through stuff that was like just really fucking scary, and then you're like, damn, that's what would have to happen to me for someone to be like, yeah, it's worth it to give you housing. It's worth it to send you some money. Like, this was a really racist thing. Like, it's really fucked up. Like, it's really scary, y'all. Like, I don't think people appreciate that enough. That some people really only get support when, like, the most awful shit happens to them. And, like, and then people wonder why, like, I be coming here talking about, like, telling what's happening. Because, babes, that's the only time people really be giving a fuck. It's sad. It's really sad, but it's true. Exactly. And that's why I'm talking about what's happening here now. Because again, there's been escalations all the time. But what can I do about that? Like, they're not big enough for anyone to give a fuck and think I'm actually in danger. But the fact that I have to be perceiving the danger and checking, and like, this is fucking trauma. But people will not hold it. Like, I gotta be outside with all my shit. I gotta be fucking begging on a fucking court. I gotta be laid outside or some shit for motherfuckers to actually see, like, oh, this is real. And like, again, when white people are doing shit, it's mad covert. Like the conversation we had, like the other, like yesterday, or not yesterday, 2 days ago, the combo was just very much like, speed it up, and you're not doing enough, and like I'm not seeing enough, and it's like, I didn't know you was watching me when I've been telling you what I'm doing. Like, why are you watching me and acting like that's some sort of behavior that's like indicative of someone unworthy of housing? That is really weird. That is really weird. And then she's like, I see a lot of chilling. I see a lot of sitting outside. I'm like, where else am I supposed, what else am I supposed to do? Like, it's like she expects me to go outside and like, just fire up a grill, start selling plates. Like, that's not possible. Like, I don't think that she's really thinking about what she's saying. And it's okay. Like, it's really okay. I really feel like, unfortunately, when you are a poor person and someone poor, like, I've experienced similar experiences when, like, you're around another poor person and they are doing worse than you. But I have the fucking empathy to hold that there are layers to poverty. Some people really can't hold that shit. Like, some people can't really hold. Like, it's weird that she has two houses and she's really trying to act like, my water bill. It's like, yeah, I hear you. And I could be next door and I could be paying a water bill for you. I could be out of your house. That's a possibility, but you're like, fuck you. And then also, like, speaking on my friend's finances, like, that is really anti-black. Like, that's really anti-black. Like, saying that my friend can't afford fucking deposits because these white people weren't charged deposits. These white people was working online. These white people was living more precariously. She had the nerve to gaslight me and be like, they paid rent and their bills every month. I was like, you told me they were late every month. You told me their lights got cut off and you had to turn them back on. You're doing a lot. I was like, you would never talk to them like that. The way you're talking to me, you would never talk to those white people next door like that, but it's okay. And I feel like at the end of the day, like, it wouldn't have been a good relationship if I would have lived there, because I would have been just how I am, being direct, being honest, and being trans fucking parent. And I don't think she appreciates that, and it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. Like, I'm not about to fucking fight to stay somewhere where I'm not wanted, but I'm also not about to fucking run out the fucking door into the fucking street and get hit by a damn 18-wheeler. Like, at the end of the day, white people do not be thinking, I swear, about like how what they say dictates how shit goes. Like, this white person be saying hello to me and I say hello back because I already know that bitch is wild. I already know she's not really thinking all the way. Like, she's the white person that's like, oh, white people use silence to harm you. Go and use that, go and do the same shit to me. It's just funny. Like, white people be, at this point, white people be foreshadowing like a motherfucker, and it is scary as hell. And then on top of it, bitch, I'm talking to my friend, and we had a whole convo about how, like, the white person I'm living with gonna tell me don't be trusting white people, and I'm like, sweetie, you're the white Latino person that I'm trusting, and it's up to you to hold that. It's up to you to hold that standard. It's up up to you to hold the standard. Like, I'm tired of white people. Like the white lady upstairs is gonna tell me when I told her that I was scared of her and that like I'm terrified of her. I was like, I'm honestly very scared of white people. Like, I really don't trust y'all right now. Like, I'm coming to several conclusions that I really shouldn't trust y'all. And she's like, you're never gonna trust me, honeybee, because I'm white, and you're gonna always be scared of me. And I was like, that is not the case. There's white people that do not terrify me and do not scare me. So the fact that you're telling me that your standards are going to remain on the ground, that's a you problem, dog. And that's why I took a step back from you. Like, come on. Like, I'm tired of white people playing in my face. Y'all don't know what the fuck white supremacy is. It's me living in this cold ass room when I could be living in a warm house with a furnace. It's me fucking telling you that me and my friend got $700 to give you for you losing money this motherfucking month. And you're like, no. And there's no reason why, other than you don't see me hustling enough and blah, 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 blah. Meanwhile, don't nobody in this house got jobs. No one that's living here right now has a job. So that's what's blowing me, bitch. That's what's fucking blowing me. Like, motherfuckers trying to hold me to fucking standards they're not meeting. Trying to offer that, like, I'm not doing enough because they see me sitting outside. Bitch, wouldn't it be crazy if you never seen me? Wouldn't that be crazy if I was always gone? Wouldn't that be kind of crazy if I'm homeless and I need help and I'm gone? What are you talking about? Of course I'm here, bitch. Like, what the fuck? This is the shit. Like, babes, all I do is cook a damn dinner and mind my business. That's all I do here, bitch. Bitch, I feel sorry for motherfucking, I feel sorry for me, bitch, because honestly, that situation has nothing to do with me. I'm not gonna speak on it no fucking more. Like, I feel like what has to do with me is what I'm gonna focus on, because white people acting a certain type of way. And again, my friend, when I first got here, my friend Dana was like, I wonder what the universe is trying to tell you. I wonder what the universe is trying to offer to you, living with somebody who is kind of mirroring your childhood. And I was like, and all I realized is that white people cannot tell on themselves. Like, that's all I'm realizing, bitch. They cannot tell on themselves. They cannot be candid. It's impossible. Like, and maybe I shouldn't say impossible. Maybe there are white people that can betray themselves, but betray whiteness, betray narcissism. Maybe. I haven't met them. I haven't met them. And that's that. Like, and so I just, and I said this to somebody else earlier. I was like, having a white passing mother is something that harms us as brown people. Like, that is just the truth. And I feel like, as much as I wish that, like, I could have had access to someone that was close enough to, like, come through. Um, Thank you so much, Cool Beans. Thank you for saying that. But I wish that my mom had been freed from her desire to take up space in blackness. I wish that my mom had done the reading and the learning to disconnect herself as a mixed person in an equitable way, in an ethical way. I wish she had done that labor, but she didn't. And so because she didn't do that labor, I didn't get the right shit told to me. And that sucks. And I'm not crying, be like trying to be like, oh, like poor me. It's just like living with a white passing person unaware of their privilege. And when I say unaware, I just mean like not even tapping in to listen. Not even tapping in to listen. It creates people like myself who like have to figure out that they're fucking oppressors. And they can be oppressing people all the damn time. Like, I've done a lot of fucking harm. Like, and I'm trying so hard to like just be like seeing that shit and like holding myself accountable, like betraying the light skin privilege in real time, because like there's just been so much gaslighting. Like, I'm hearing people, like, I'm really trying to live like outside of fucking like this narcissistic idea of fucking like positions of power that like really just disempower us from connecting with each other. Like, I'm seeing the connections, but because I come from that, because I'm aware that like my white parent could not possibly offer me any truth, having to find it myself, having to listen to people who knew it more than me, who understand in a way I could never, like, that is a moment. And that's why I'm angry, because it's like I see the lack of work people are willing to do. And because of that, I have to do more. And it's so hurtful. It's so hurtful. And these are people that say white supremacy, that name white supremacy, that name oppression, name genocide. They say the words. They say the words that make other white people think that something's happening, and I have to hold this. There has been performative motherfucking progressive shit happening, babes. And so now we're in the time of the unapologetic racist. We're in the time of the white person who has all the right words, but they're not utilizing them to access internal struggles that are happening, that are coming back out, that are projecting on everybody else. They're not seeing how white supremacy is not a pie in the sky, Willy Wonka candy bar. It's inside of us. We're all fucking colonized. We're all fucking colonized. Like, at the end of the day, I'm not better than them. I'm more traumatized than them from something that will never really touch them. And because of that, I gotta go blow my nose, bitch. I'm so sorry. But because of that, like, bitch, I be in danger. And motherfuckers don't be really thinking so. And that's the thing. Like, that's why I say, like, I could never tell nobody deep dark skin, oh, I don't think I was being colorist. Bitch, I would never know. I can't tell nobody black, oh, I don't think I'm being anti-black. Bitch, I won't always know what's anti-black. I won't always know. That's the thing. That's the fucking thing. I'll be forever listening to black people to be understanding. I'll be constantly listening to black folks to be hearing. Hearing. Because I don't want to be making it seem like we could do more than hear, bitch. I don't want to be doing that. Because words mean things. And my light skinned self be hearing. I can't do more than hear. Okay? And I can uplift what I'm hearing. I can share links from people I'm listening to. There's things that I can do beyond hearing. But as far as knowing, understanding, facilitating conversations around, no fucking way. I do not have the lived experience. I do not have the motherfucking skin tone. I do not have the implicit bias. I do not have all of these things that would make a case for me to ever be speaking on these things with any kind of authority or saying that I understand or saying that I know. I don't. I don't. I don't. That's why I try to uplift people like Khadijah Mbawe. I try to uplift Maya's World. I try to uplift Bespoke Curry. I try to uplift Praxis PJ, Praxis Poppy. I try to uplift people that are talking about things that are nuanced, but they're so fucking like, I feel like nuance is disrespectful. Like, it's just the baseline for fucking oppression work, and like people are missing their words, and people are missing what's being said by deep dark skinned people, especially deep dark skinned fat queer folk. And it's really fucked up. And so because I'm seeing, I'm hearing, I'm listening, these are things that I'm operating on. But hearing white people tell me to my face that they don't think that they're being on some white supremacist shit, how would you know? Like, I literally just started laughing. I literally started laughing because I'm like, bro, the way that convo went for me was so bizarre. But then at the same time, the way that I walked away and didn't ever clock that this white person just gaslit me. And then it's like the way they're talking, it's like there's no moment to actually like have a moment where it's like, hey, like, are you seeing, like, it's hilarious. Because like, what am I supposed to say? Are you seeing the white supremacy? Are you seeing how this unfolds as like some colonizer understanding? Like, are you seeing, are you seeing how like there's danger? No, they wouldn't. They won't. And so that's why I'm stressed. And yeah, like, I just feel like when people are people pleasing, like, you're in danger, bitch, because they're not being honest with you, and they're also acting as if you're doing something. Listen, I hear you. I don't feel like I'm being too hard on myself. Like, I feel like I'm being like candid that like I will never understand like how anti-black I am. And like I think it's really important to harp on that because again, there are a lot of people who look like myself. There are a lot of people with a 3C, a 4A and beyond who are mixed, who are light skinned, who have mixed ancestry, who are not raised by black parents, who are not raised by black American parents, that do not have the lens or or know where to even start. Like I feel like we have to talk about those folk, us folk, me, our people, those people, like that needs to be brought up because like again, like the way that I'm trying to hold this shit with these white people right now, it's a moment, is it not? Like, these white people don't have the intelligence and they're trying to fight me on it. And it's awkward because it's like, this is small potatoes. If you don't think that helping me in this moment matters, what happens next? What happens next, really? Because I'm not the last homeless person they're gonna come in contact with. Like, I'm not the last person that's gonna be down bad that's gonna pop up and try to fucking squat or sleep under the stairs or, sweetie, like, I have to like implore that they like do what makes the most equitable sense, because I'm not the last brown face they'll see. I'm not the last. And so I have to hold the standards. And that's what I want to talk about. Standards. Standards for care. What we think people deserve is based on what we think we deserve. How we talk to people, how we treat people is how we fucking. That's what I'm saying. Like, she collecting disability and she know I'm disabled too. Like, she knows I'm disabled, but I don't get to be disabled in this moment. I get to be a homeless, carefree leech who doesn't really think about other people. I get to be all these things that I'm not seeing in myself, but she can see those things in me. It's unfortunate, but the way that she's spoken on me has let me know that, like, this is not a friendship, this is not a relationship, you know. I'm going to continue to, as I said, focus on myself and do what I got to do for myself. Listen, I don't care what she's doing. All I know is it's unkind, and I know that it's not what I deserve. And I feel like as I raise standards for myself and what I deserve, other people will either raise their standards as well, or they will reveal that their standards are in the motherfucking gutter. Because you don't treat people this way and you're loving yourself, you're treating yourself good. You're just not. Like, so that's why I'm not trying to, like, I've learned a lot since I left that last house in Hazel Park. Like, those people, as I said, they were in hell. And so me tapping in with me, loving on me, the other in the house of the white people, loving themselves, they'll never be able to allow that. It's not necessary for their survival, so they cannot allow it. It's very fucked up, but they cannot relate. They cannot relate. And I think that's why I'm being told that I'm not doing enough. Because if they were me, they would be stressing themselves out, trying to people please and ask anybody for anything, take any job, or work your fingers to the bone, go and try to work for cash, in the back of somebody's shop. I could see what they're trying to get at, but I'm not going to do that. And I understand if other people think that I'm lazy, that's fine. I have a different way of operating and getting money, and that's what I'm tapping into. As I said I put a message out on my stories on Instagram. I have a friend on the West Coast who literally is like, bitch, I want to like do like some kind of like ceremony with you. Like, I really feel like we could do an event and we could make some money. And I've been talking about trying to become a grief doula. I've been talking about trying to like make house calls and be someone that sits with people in community in ceremony, because I know that plant medicine is intense. Some people can't just take plant medicine and just feel like everything's fine. It's just not realistic. And if I'm being super real with y'all, like, it's been hard to get that going, because the contacts I had in the city, they had a church that they started, a psilocybin church, but they were raided in September at the very end of it. So a lot of things that we're trying to get in alignment, because I'm not just been like, that's the thing that sucks. It's like, bitch, I wish I was chilling. I really wish I was. I really wish I was just kicking it. Just chilling. I really wish I was just chilling, bitch. I'm not. I'm talking to all different types of people about all different types of things that I want to see. Because honestly, one of my favorite creators, their name is Isma Fatu. Hold on one second. It's Gwendolyn Ismatu. I think I might have fucked up their name at first. Hold up, because I don't wanna. Because they just sent me an email because I'm on their mailing list. P.S. on that, get on their mailing list because they are a therapist. They're a black therapist who offers free therapy, but they are donation based. So if you do have some coin to throw, share, because I know these therapy sessions be a lot, but they are currently like working through donations. Like, that is how they're offering their services, but they're also being very fucking candid about how all that they learned in therapy school to become a therapist is get kept behind thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars, and they don't think that that's fair. Gwendolyn Ismatu, thank you so much. They have a Substack, and it's they also have a Threadings account, and they leave a lot of voice notes, so you don't have to read everything that they post. They also give you an option to listen, so if you're someone that's more of an auditory learner, they're really the shit. But there's things that I'm trying to build that don't exist yet, and I know to somebody living in like this realm here, they're like, you have nothing, you're not doing it. Like, okay, I'm okay with having nothing in the realm that exists now. I'm okay. I know some people will not understand, but I'm okay with not having a lot in this world that exists now. I'm okay with not having everything in this world, because this world is not for me. I know that the world that I'm trying to live in, I'm trying to build with other people, is going to take us connecting and talking about shit that is uncomfortable, talking about things that make other possibilities possible. And I know that that's something that the colonizer wants me to think is not real, because I can't build it within the framework that they're offering me. So exactly. And again, I know some people will think that I'm crazy. That's fine. But I want you to know right now, we in insane times. So the crazy people, oh baby, we really on it. Like the people that's not all there, yeah, it's probably for the fucking best. It's probably for the best. I don't have that part to just go along with this shit. And honestly, you too. Because I know you seeing this shit. I know you see it looks crazy. Like, I know I'm not alone. Like, that's why I don't even feel no type of way. It's like, I don't care. Like, if people aren't there yet, that's fine. I respect it. It's not like you just get here, bitch. You don't just get here. It's traumatic. It's very fucking traumatic. So, with that being said, like, is Matu Gwendolyn, she was saying, like, I'm writing letters to my daughter. And I was like, bitch, say that shit. Like, I don't think I'm gonna have children, but I am, like, literally trying to live as if there is a younger child that will be born soon in the future, and I'm thinking about the world that they're going to live in, because the world that I've been living in sucks. I hate it here. Tombstone. I hope it dies. I want all this world to die. It's terrible. And as I keep on telling y'all, the future is fucking indigenous. People keep on thinking it's gonna get more technology. Bitch, no. As you can see, look how COVID taking people out. Baby, it's going to be about who the fuck is next door with a pot of soup. It's about to be that. And people don't want to think about it. People don't want to think about it. They're gonna think it's okay. We're just gonna wait on the internet. We're just gonna use the internet to what? To what? Like, honestly, like, I'm telling you, bitch, like, it's just too much. The earth been sweating us out, bitch. They been sweating us out. Like, honestly, bitch, like, humanity is honestly operating like a fucking fever. So, and we be wondering why the earth doing all this crazy shit. Because she's done. She's done, bitch. And it's about to be to a point where motherfuckers you gonna have to really know somebody, bitch. You have to really know somebody. You have to really be outside with these motherfucking animals, chickens and shit like that, chopping shit up. It's gonna be really that. And people don't want to think about it. People, and that's why the rich people taking it. You see the rich people, they're like, my land, my farm. Because, bitch, they know what time it is too, bitch. But they want to make sure that they got staff. And think about it. Think about being staffing on a damn ranch where a rich person live. Sweetie, I'm telling you, we are in a weird time, and people are acting like they don't see the shit. Is it not a coincidence to you that everybody going back to motherfucking homesteading? Sweetie, trust me, they don't know nothing that you don't fucking know already. Like, this shit is unsustainable. We're stressed. Poverty does teach you things, but that's the thing though. Like, the way they were talking about going through poverty, they're like, we were running from the wildfires, and they were like, I had to wash clothes and stuff on the floor. They were saying like we had all these things going on, and I was like, and as I'm hearing this white person tell me this tale, all I could sit here and think is like, sweetie, I would never try to invalidate someone that's poor too. I would never try to sit up there and be like, I had to go through all this as a way to like let them know like that's what I'm coming from. So you got to do something of the same sort. I would never do that. Like, I've been in foster care since I was 13. Do you think that I'm looking at people with families like, what the fuck? I'm happy for people that have families. Like, I'm happy for people that don't know the fucking trauma and the struggle. I'm happy for y'all. Y'all deserve that. What the fuck? Like, that's the shit that be killing me. People be revealing what they don't think other people deserve. And it's hurtful. Like, what the fuck? Like, I be like feeling jealous when I hear about people having families. I do experience jealousy, which is a human fucking emotion. But anger or like a competition, no. Like, why would that shit hurts me, y'all. It just hurts me. Like, I hate when people be letting it be known like their spirit is like looking at you like you don't deserve shit. Like, it's really fucked up. Like, it's a really fucked up feeling when people let you know, like, oh no, you don't deserve what I got. You don't deserve to be held by me. You don't deserve this. It's like, okay, there's nothing you can say to that. Like, there's nothing you can really fucking say. You gotta just, you gotta just go. Like, so it is what it is. I feel like these are like some performative ass weights though. So I don't know. I feel like having family is a privilege for sure, but it's also something that we all deserve. Like, I feel like that's the shitty part about it is like, yes, it's a privilege, but we also all deserve that. And even now, we still deserve it. Like, and I feel like that's the thing that sucks is like, it's hard to talk about it because I know some people with families do feel like they're being attacked by people who have had to struggle more. And it's like, I don't feel like people are attacking by acknowledging that you have support, but I do think, hey Mara, I appreciate folks being worried, but I feel like I said earlier, like the only thing that can happen next is they escalate so that I can get up out of here. Like there's not gonna be a moment for me to just like dip and everything's fine. Like I unfortunately am just seeing this unfold in a particular way, and it just feels like I even said to them, I was like, if you're giving me a hard 10 days to leave, let me know. They're like, it's not a hard 10 days. I was like, okay. And so now I'm at a point where it's like they have to give me a hard deadline for me to like actually like be making a timeline for anything, because as it stands my timeline is to get my ID, which means I've been using their address. So like kicking me out before I get the rest of my shit for the ID, do what you gotta do, I guess, you know what I mean? Like I just feel like I can't play like that doesn't hurt, but I also can't play like that does anything. Like like I'm still on the same fucking timeline. And like I said in the earlier thing, like we sat on the couch and they like offered to get my birth certificate, they offered to get my social security card, and as they're trying to do it, they're finding, oh, there's a block, oh, there's a block. And I'm like, yep, it's all a circle. If you don't have this paperwork, you can't get this one. But to get this one, you need this one. It's literally hard. And it stresses me out because like they're Mexican. So I'm like, sweetie, people be undocumented over there a lot. I know you would not be telling them they should just go to McDonald's and get exploited. I know you wouldn't say that. So like they're like you haven't called a shelter. I'm like, sweetie, I didn't know I had to. Like, let me know. Let me know. Like, you bringing up the shelter? Like, sweetie, this is the first time you ever said shelter to me. It's shelter time? Like, white people just don't even be really thinking and be saying whatever. And don't hold that, like, what do that mean? I need to go to a shelter? Sweetie, I'm going to be so for real with you. I don't even know the first step. I literally reached out to someone that said that their friend owns a shelter because I'm not trying to go to the shelter run by the state. I'm trying to find some grassroots shit to where I could talk to somebody and they could like, be more low key with me. I have to be fucking strategic, bitch. And there's no appreciation of that. I mean, here's my thing. As I've said before, I only know this white person because some white person on the internet hit me up and said this white person has a house that they will rent to you. And then the white people got the deal that was offered to me, which was $750, no deposit. Now she talking about I can't live there and my friend don't got deposits. Like she making a lot of assumptions about my financial abilities and hers. Also, my friend was like saying to me, they were like, "How do they say you have no job when you've been literally running a shop online for like 4 years?" I was like, "It's fine. I don't want them to like understand how wild that was from me. I don't need that validation. I don't need that. If you don't see me as someone who's been working and who's been on top of shit, that's fine. Like I cannot fight. I cannot make someone see me. Can y'all still hear me? Cause my timer just went off. I'm making a beef stew. But yeah, I really do think that the white lady upstairs is like trying to fucking get up in my shit now. Cause like I said, she stayed being fake, saying hello to me and shit, and I know she don't really care. Like I know she don't really want to say hello to me. But it's fine, cause bitch, I don't be saying hello to her. Like I don't like babes. Like I don't like I'm not sitting here craving white friendship like that, and it's really weird. So, listen, like I said, if y'all think for 1 minute that I'm sitting up in this house chilling, living a good life, I'm not. Yes, I'm making a beef stew, bitch, because honestly, I'm stressed the fuck out and I need to fucking eat and I can't afford to get takeout, bitch. I can't afford a lot of things. So I made a big fucking pot of beef stew so I don't motherfucking die. That was my thought process. And I feel like, because she's not someone that cooks, I don't know that she's seeing that as like, I don't know if she's like, this bitch is just chilling, making soups and shit. It's like, well, it's economical. You feel me? Like, I made some brownies last night too, bitch. It was economical because I wanted a sweet treat and I can't be buying candy bars every fucking day. I can't, like, bitch, like, I don't know how fucking much I'm supposed to struggle here. I don't know how much you're supposed to be seeing me struggle here, bitch. I don't know. I wasn't aware. Ooh, the stew is stewing, bitch. Oh my god. Ooh, I'm gonna show y'all too. I'm gonna show y'all. I know. I know. Ooh, get in, bitch. Yes, these beef pieces. Bitch, I browned it and everything. I wish I would have used that red wine, but it's still coming together. It's getting thick. Yes. My Venmo is Tatiana hyphen Brissette. I'm gonna actually try a little bit of it because I wonder if it's actually really tasty. I put a lot of salt in it, so I'm kind of scared. I'm kind of scared to be honest. But yeah. Mmm. 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 Okay. I'm gonna get me a little piece of meat and see if it's ready. Cause, goddamn. Honestly, like I am working towards like living with my friend. That's what I would really love is if me and my friend Royal could get a place together. Goddamn. Woo. That shit is done. Praise God. Praise God. Mm-mm-mm. Yes, God. Oh my God, that fucking meat just broke down in my mouth. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Yes. Yes, bitch. But yeah, no, I'm trying to live with my friend Royal. They're renting a room right now for 700. That's the thing. My friend is renting a room for 700. Can't even have no guests over the house. So that's what my whole question on asking about next door. But again, I'm not thinking about next door no more. Don't worry about that. Don't worry. Don't worry, bitch. I'm not delusional. But I had a whole fucking plan to where everybody would get money, everybody would win. But do white people care? No. Meanwhile, white people don't fuck them over. So, of course, shit rolls down the fuck hill. Like, honestly, I brought that up too. I was like, I feel like you're kind of dragging me for these white people that fucked you over. And they're like, I wouldn't have even known about them if it wasn't for you. I'm like, yeah, but they verbally assaulted me and were like, abusive towards me. That's why I didn't say shit to you because I didn't know what the fuck they were gonna do next. Like they cussed me the fuck out, and then they ran to you and were making it seem like nothing bad was gonna happen to them. That they were just gonna get away with it. So I was like, maybe you will. And then when I told you, I only told you because I was like, damn. Like I thought that like because they attacked me, I really was like, damn, am I being shady? Like they really gaslit me. So I felt like, damn, they said I was trying to stop them from getting housing. So I was like, I'm not gonna say anything. I'm gonna hope that they get the housing and then like maybe we can talk about what just happened. And then like after they got the housing, it was just very clear like they only verbally assaulted me because they were scared that I was catching on to like how they were treating me. Like they were treating me not the best. And then it just all came out like right before they went to go look at the house. So there's a part of me that's like, how do you say that you like you understand what happened, but then you're like trying to hold me accountable for how they did you? Like I didn't do you bad. Like, I was fucking traumatized by white people, and they're the same white person that was like, oh, well, now you know not to trust white people. And it's like, I don't think white people be thinking about what they be saying. Like, I'm telling you. Like, I don't think they be thinking about it too deeply. And then you be looking crazy out here. You be fucking looking real crazy. Fucking with white people. And like I said, like they're a white person that like literally told me not to fuck with white people. And I'm like, okay. Like, I just don't think white people be thinking. And again, because white people aren't thinking, now here I go. Back up, back up. And now I have to fucking think for you. Now I have to think about what's gonna happen next. And I don't really want to. My brain hurts. Like my brain literally hurts. Sit down, dog. Leave me. I'm disgusted. Like I just really wanted to like get a chance to like get away from those white people in Hazel Park and just like start over. Like not here, but just like find a way to go from here. And it just feels like that energy towards me is just like it's very weird. And I feel like that's the other thing too. It's like, bitch, if I was really like if I was really activated, if I was really like angry and stressed out and like not stressed out, but just like if I was really like giving myself to my anxiety, like it would be a whole different thing. Like I feel like because I'm communicating clearly and directly, like it's just changing things. Like it's just changing how people are communicating with me. And it sucks. It really sucks. I don't know. And like I said, like me and my friend Royal have been talking about getting a car. Like we've been talking about going on the road together. Cause honestly, like I feel like she's younger than me, but I feel like she's realizing like life is crazy. And then also like just the ways that like we've both trusted white people to our detriment. Like I just feel like we have a very similar experience in the city. And like what she's been going through is way shittier than me. Like this situation that I'm in is not as bad as hers still. Cause like she literally doesn't feel safe for her roommate to go in her space to feed her cat. Like she can't have guests. Like there's just a restriction on her that just isn't on me. Like she slept in my room, like here, like on days where we had to work together. So it's like there's not a restriction on me like there is on her, but at the same time she's running away from like a white person who is literally telling her like you should be my slave because you can't afford all the rent. And it's just like, damn, like that's fucking crazy. That's what I'm saying. Like it's like honestly, like if you're saying up to 2 months, like then that means on the 20th, and it's like you're telling me that I need to go somewhere for Christmas, and it's like I'm hearing you. Like all I'm doing is hearing requests and trying to move around. But I feel like, as I said, I have to literally break silence to get support because white supremacy is that fucking bad. Like, white supremacy is to the point where, like, talking about, like, candidly about white supremacy, like, that's not enough. Like, I have to literally be like, hey guys, like, I'm outside and I'm, like, talking about, like, this living situation. Like, I have to, like, be I have to literally like I have to literally perform victimhood in a way that like people will really think is like the only way that you're operating in a space when it's like, no, dude, I'm also cooking. I'm also trying to make sure that my needs are fucking taken care of. I'm also making phone calls. I'm also like taking care of myself. I'm also like looking out for like other ways to fucking take care of myself in better ways. I'm also trying to fucking exist. So it's like the ways that people come online and they're like, I need help. It's like, yo, they're going through a lot other things too. There's other things going on in their day to day, but right in this moment, like they're trying to break silence. And so that's where I'm at with this. It's like I'm not trying to like incite any violence against myself by breaking silence, but I feel like that's unfortunately par for the fucking course, is it not? Because the violence is really like me not knowing when I have to leave, and like and then also being told that like I'm not doing enough to deserve more support. Like that right there was, in my opinion, the reminder that like we are not friends and that you are operating like under the assumption that like you're a good white person. And that's it. Like I feel like that's sometimes like what we're dealing with is like this white person is like, I'm a good one. So, you know? And like I feel like that's another aspect of this. That's what I'm saying. Like, they've used the systems, but like they have other ways to like break out of it. Like, they have other support to break out of like needing the systems. And they're looking at me like, why aren't you going to a shelter? And it's like, because like you have access to fucking resources. And like that's too direct, I think. And people will demonize you for drinking. Bitch, here's my thing. I like, if I was a drinker, I feel like I would be getting way more hell. Like, I feel like because I'm a smoker, they're giving me a little bit of. But bitch, let me have been drinking this whole time, sweetie. And like someone said in the comments, like, you have to earn relaxation. And because like I'm not seemingly earning enough, I shouldn't be relaxing. I disagree. But even other poor people, bitch, that's what fucks me up. Like, it's a punishment. Like, I feel like that's what she doesn't want to see, is like, you're punishing me for the white people fucking you over. You're punishing me for like not being fucking neurotypical. You're punishing me for like needing accommodations. Like, if I needed money to get fucking pills for my ADHD, like, would that be a reasonable thing? Because I'm not asking you to get me some weed that I need for my mental health, and I'm making sure that that's a need I prioritize. Like, you're. Meanwhile, I'm smoking a $30 bag of shake. I'm not even smoking the good weed, babes. I'm smoking the dust of weed. I'm smoking the memory of weed, babe. And y'all like really looking at me crazy, and I'm like, baby, the way I am getting kind of high, but not even really. The way I'm not even really like, what? But that's the energy. They're like, oh, there's no hustle in you. I'm like, why don't y'all go to McDonald's? See if they hire you on the spot as fat people. Go see. Because I haven't seen a fat bitch at McDonald's in a minute. Clock it. They don't just be hiring fat people, especially fat people of color. Like, let's clock that, bitch. That's the shit that be blowing me. Now that I don't wear wigs, there's a lot of places that I'm not gonna be qualified for, ho. Like, people don't want to talk about that. They don't want to talk about how if you're not doing a certain level of labor to be palatable, you're not going to get the job. I don't even have fucking good clothes. Bitch, I'm dressed like Bagger Vance. Like, bitch. I be wearing fucking vests and shit, bitch. I went to Value Village, bitch. I got a $9 pair of corduroys, bitch. And they're cute as fuck. I got some guacamole on them. Don't judge me. But, bitch, I don't even have the clothes to perform as a sexy fat bitch that can work at your job. I don't even have that fucking drag in the moment. In the moment, I have the drag of a fucking railroad worker, bitch. I look like I work outside. Baby, I look like I have a thermos, bitch, with some coffee in it. Like, let's be real. Meanwhile, baby, I read cards, work in party supplies. Like, babe, babe, I have many jobs, trust me. And that's the other thing, too, is like no person of color has one job. That's bullshit. Because, you be giving emotional labor to people, especially if you're fat. Especially if you're a fat bitch. If you're a fat femme, people really will just drop their trauma on you, bitch. You are a therapist. Let's be real. You're the lady. You're a chef. Like, you're so many things. Rachel. Rachel. Rachel, I need someone to embroider that somewhere and give me some embroidery. Drugs is the only thing that makes homelessness tolerable, bitch. To be honest. But also, a step further, every sin is filling a void. And so people see smoking and drinking as a sin, baby. We're filling voids, babe. How am I? Visual representation of me right now. Visual representation of me. Honestly. Right. Like, bitch. The one thing that I will say though is like when you're like really trying to like mask and like be neurotypical around people, like I just feel like the macroaggressions in the playback in your head, because like there's just so many moments where like people are being really shady and I let it go, because what could I really do? And now I'm just like, say how I feel, get put out, start from scratch. Like if I gotta start from the bottom, I will, bitch. I've been looking into buying a motherfucking one of those tents for fucking people that be going to Antarctica and shit. I'm being so for real. I'm about to get me one of those motherfucking thermal tents and just live in there, bitch, in the woods for a little bit. And just keep a knife on me, ho, and put a lock on the zipper. Cause at this point, it's just like I feel so unwelcome and so shaded that I'm just like, honestly, like y'all, if I die, don't take it personally, but like y'all didn't cultivate a safe space for me, and so I don't want to fucking be acting like that's okay. I'm not even feeling down. I'm just feeling like white people have been gaslighting me, and like I'm naming it, and like it just doesn't put me in a safe space. I'm not in Cali, and honestly, I have a friend in Cali. I have a friend in Cali right now, but I don't know that I want to go to Cali, bitch. The cars were fucking melting, bitch. Like, I'm actually in the best state to be in for global warming. Not trying to be funny. But if you're in the West Coast, sweetie, like, I pray y'all got protection around you. Cause even my homie in Cali is saying that her shit is flooding. She said all the basements are flooding in Cali right now. Cause there's no fucking they've been logging the forest. So now the forest unstable, the streets unstable. So it's like honestly there's a lot of natural disasters, and it's just like, as I said, like when I first got here, I thought that I could get out of here easily. Then I started thinking like maybe I'll be able to live next door. Then I started thinking I don't want to live next door. Like there's a lot of things that shifted in the last fucking month and a half. And so it is what it is. I hear you. Trust me, like tomorrow is Monday. I'm doing a bunch of fucking work for my business, and then I'm also going to be making some calls, trying to get some support. Because again, I didn't hear the word shelter till this week. Now that I know it's at shelter point, I'm like, okay, I'm hearing you. But like you saying you need your space back and you have a space next door had me thinking like that was a possibility. Once that stopped being a possibility, I'm like, okay. But I'm just trying to pick up, as I've been saying this, I'm trying to pick up information and use it to my fucking benefit so I can survive this situation. That's it. But unfortunately, like, when white people start getting annoyed with you, bitch, I'm telling you, things just go fucking from 0 to motherfucking 60 real quick. Like, when I was living in that house in Hazel Park, that one white person hated me, but the other two liked me. It only took that other one to flip for the other one to flip again, too. And so the bitch upstairs being mad, feeling away. I already know she gonna try to flip it on me. I already know. Very poor communication skills, very poor emotional empathy, emotional intelligence on 0. And the worst part about it is like the person I'm living with has named that this person upstairs has not been kind. But somehow, I don't know what they think. They were like, you should go to rapid rehousing. They're like, you should go to rapid rehousing. You might have to stay in the shelter for like 4 days. I'm like, you don't know how long I'll have to stay in the shelter. You have no information about the shelters. You shouldn't try to give me information about the shelter because you don't have it. Like, just let me go. Just don't communicate with me. Just give me some paperwork that says I gotta leave in 30 days, and then I'll take that shit to somewhere and be like, I'm being put out of my house. That's where I'm at. I'm like, escalate the situation because that's all that's gonna work. Like, if you're not gonna be a fucking community member with me and be in community with me, then you need to start acting like the white bitch you are and start getting real white. Tap into your whiteness all the way and let me go. Cause you playing games and it don't make no fucking sense. Because she has money, she has access to capital. That's what matters to her. Like, it is what it is. Like, I feel like I thought community mattered more than access to capital, but it don't. It is what it is. I'm seeing how things are going. You know what I mean? And it's like when you're poor, you have an intelligence that other people don't have. And when people are ashamed of being poor and they don't see it as like a place of like I know being poor is not what people want to be. I get it. But I also feel like being poor is the closest thing that we have to our indigenous ancestors. Having nothing of the materials of the colonizer is the closest we'll ever be to understanding what it's like for indigenous people who are trying to motherfucking navigate this bullshit. And I feel like that's why I keep trying to tell y'all the future must be this. The future must be this. It cannot be that only some experience this and others try to avoid it. It can't possibly last. And so that's why a lot of people acting up right now because they so scared of going back to the soil. They're so scared of going back to the nothing. They're so scared of it. And I get it. It's scary, especially in the winter. It's very scary. But I have to also remind myself, bitch, we are earthful. Like when we are homeless, we are earthful. And that's the only way I got through houselessness last time, is reminding myself that this earth holds us. That is why we're alive. We're alive because this earth every day makes the conscious or maybe unconscious. We have no real way of knowing, but I choose to believe it's conscious decision to keep on carrying the fuck on. No matter how weird the weather gets, the grass is still growing. The air is still airing. The water, I mean, you still here, right? So the water watering. And so that's where I'm at. Like, I'm not going to be able to convince anyone who's trying to take the colonizer's way out of poverty that like all we have is each other in this earth. Like when people start owning houses, they start acting different. And some of y'all will never know what that's like. Some of y'all will pay rent forever and have more in common with me than maybe you want to. But the truth of the matter is, what we have in common is we are part of the collective. We are part of the community that knows that the earth is still a safe place and it still will hold us. And I know that people don't want to hold that. I know people want to talk about soft life and comfort, and like I get it. We live in a rough life. That's why people talk about soft life. I get it. But I also know that like more and more people are becoming housing insecure. More and more people are having to ask their mother, their father, their auntie, if they can share space again. And some of their elders are like, no. Like I've seen a lot of elders say no. I've seen a lot of elders saying no. And it's hurtful. It's hurtful. But I'm grateful that I can just be exactly as I am and not feel the need to fucking mask, because I'm not going to pretend like what's happening to me is okay. Like I've been trying to just honor what's been said to me and not perform like I'm okay. Like I'm very deeply hurt by what's been said to me because I feel like it's not true. And I also feel like it's very weird how people are choosing to operate. But I also feel like Nubia, please don't feel sorry for not keeping up. This has been a very traumatic experience, and like, I appreciate all the witnesses and all the people that take time to like to listen and to hear my story and like uplift me in any way. But like, I don't believe anybody should be like indulging too much in traumatic ass experiences. And this is not me saying that like I don't want anyone to care about me. This is just me trying to offer that like, if you have it in your spirit to listen, thank you very much. But if you don't have it in your spirit and you gotta go listen to some music, you gotta go eat a snack, you gotta go do something else, like please do. Like this is just me trying to process like what I've been feeling and what's been brought to me. And as I said, like after hearing that this person had gone through so much stuff, that they feel like their housing that they have is like the reward for all the suffering, it's like, damn, like that's sad because like you crowdfunded essentially to get all of this, you know? Like people showed up for you, like you have community. Like it's sad that you're not seeing it that way, but I can't make nobody see things a different way, but I can. I can make the conscious decision to think of the possibilities and to also see the intricacies of how the fuck we get to certain places, you know? Like, I'm not just here because nobody cares about me. Clearly, somebody was trying to care about me. And, like, I hope that I'm not coming across as ungrateful. I really hope not. But at the same time, I feel like when abuse unfolds, like during someone trying to help you, it can be a really hard thing to talk about because you are playing a game, like kind of with your safety, by being candid about what's happening, but also by not, you know, not allowing it to change you and change your behavior in a way that would be detrimental to you. And I know some people can't hold that right now because maybe you're living at home, maybe you're living with somebody and the power imbalance is off. And like if they don't see you hustling, if they don't see you scratching and surviving, then you don't deserve what? The last thing I said to them that I felt like was really important to name here is that I said, you know, we're both worthy. And as long as we both continue to act as if we are both worthy, then that's what we should just do. We should just act like we're both worthy and know that. Act like we know that and move like we know that. And I just walked off. Cause it's like I have no desire to be fighting nobody in their damn house. It do feel a little bit like that, and unfortunately, like I'm trying my best to hold like all the intricacies. Like I said before, this person's a single parent, so like I already know that they are stressed in a way that I'll never be. And so the things that happen for them and their child. So me being here is probably impacting them and their child in ways that maybe I don't see. And I don't want it to ever come across like I have no empathy for their situation either. I super do. I've absolutely tried my best to just like stay from taking too much, bothering them. If I eat the last of something, replacing it. Like I've been trying my best to just be someone that like I'm proud of when I leave here, cause that's all that matters at this point. It's like I want to look back at this time and be like I did what I could and I showed up how I could, and I didn't ever at any point in time like try to make this person doubt their reality. Like I tried my best to live in one with them. I've tried. But it's not been easy for either of us, and I've tried to be maintaining my gratefulness while also naming that it's been hard, you know? And it's okay if like people are upset about being named as like doing harm. I think that that's the thing that sucks about like us being harm, like us being oppressors. Like, cause I want to name this: white women can be oppressors and oppressed. White people who are trans can be oppressors and oppressed. That is true. With that being named, as a light skinned mixed person, I can be an oppressor and oppressed. However, in this situation with these white people, I am the oppressed, unfortunately. And I feel like they both are going through things that have them sitting with their oppression. But for some reason, white people have a very hard time connecting our collective oppression and liberation. And that's why I'm upset in this situation because I've made offerings that would support both of us. And they've just like totally decided to ignore what I said and instead like just counter with like colonizer ass rhetoric of bootstraps mentality, and like I don't want to pull up myself by my bootstraps. I want to work with my community to make it work. That's what I want to do. I don't want to operate like I'm going to do this by myself. I'm not. And you neither. Like they have so much support from community on the other side of the world, and they like have no idea like how it looks for them to tell me like you should be just going to McDonald's to get a job. No one can just go to McDonald's and get a job. Like that's not real. Like we're not in the same economy. Like McDonald's got like 3 people. It's a skeleton crew at this point. I don't know why people are acting like fast food jobs are like just so available these days. They're not. They're really not. They're really fucking not. Like they're understaffed as fuck. Everywhere is. Mara, that's really fucked up. And that's the thing too, like even if you were using the money on drugs, like why is that a problem? Like the amount of money it costs to smoke some weed is not the amount of money it costs to pay no rent. Like people be really out here acting as if somebody buying a little bit of weed, little drink, a little cigarette is why the fuck they're housing insecure. Like that is so mean. It's so mean. But and you know what? Mean is such a it's such a nothing word. It's not mean. It's inaccurate and it's also fucking ahistorical. Like it doesn't take into account that like for you to feel like you can smoke some weed to like release, like that means that like you've weighed all the other things you're gonna have to go without. Autumn, I am in Michigan, absolutely. And before anybody like sends me any links, like please know, like my desire is to like go on Monday to get the last piece of the puzzle for my ID, and then make an appointment on Tuesday. Unfortunately, one thing that I found is that I can only make an appointment to get my birth certificate, which is how I get my ID, on Tuesdays. And if I don't get an appointment, then I don't get anything. And there's only one day to make an appointment. And if you're not calling at 8 o'clock on the dot, you're not getting an appointment. Like I remember calling one time at 8:01, and they were like, "You're 16th in line," and I was like, "Okay," and I just waited and waited and waited, and then it just disconnected. So it's one of those things where it's like if you're not in the queue under like 5, you're not getting that. You're not getting that shit. And it's like they don't know what that's like. I feel like they don't understand, and like there's not even any curiosity around like how hard it's been. And so I think again, like just the way that they've been operating lets me know like I'm on borrowed time, and I'm literally like doing as much as I can before it becomes a situation where like, you know, the next escalation happens. Because like at this point it's like having that conversation where they told me like plainly like, you know, I'm not seeing any motivation in you. Like that right there was, I think, the moment that I like kind of knew like it's not about like what I'm able to do and like what I'm putting together. It's about me seemingly like not being like stressed and suffering. And like I told them, I was like, you know, I don't exist to suffer. Like I don't like I shouldn't be suffering. No one should be suffering. And I feel like that really like didn't hit for them. And like I'm okay with that. But like I'm gonna continue to say what I think is true, and that if someone can help you not suffer, they should. And if you can help someone not suffer, you should. And if you're suffering, you don't deserve that. And I will hold that forever. And I told them, I was like, I think our philosophies just differ because you think that I should be like running to like McDonald's to like beg them to like exploit my labor and like take me on without any ID. Like I feel like from what she's saying, she expects me to go somewhere and work under the table and like stack up money and like never be at her house and like be working long hours, and it's like that's not realistic for me. Like I just don't have that. Like I'm not able to do that. Like I cannot put myself in a situation where I'm working under the table. Like I need to be working with a check stub. Like I need to not be working in cash. Like to be honest, like I want to reestablish like my citizenship because honestly, it's kind of making me feel like scared that I can't get my ID. Like it's actually taking so long that it's like freaking me out a little bit. Like how much like I can be undocumented and like it can actually be a struggle to get it back even though I was born here. So with that being said, like being houseless, being having ADHD, like being in a house where, you know, I'm not necessarily I'm being tolerated. Like these things are like all collaborating on my mental fucking health, and like I just don't think white people again think deeply about what they're saying to you because it does put you in a situation where you're not able to do all the things that you need to do. And then on top of it, it's like if I just sit in that house and never break silence and never come here and talk, then like there's no like seemingly like timeline of escalation. Like there's just so much to like coming online and being like I'm going through something, because people will try to comb through it and be like, oh, they're lying or they're shady. Like there's all types of fucking bullshit that happens when you're literally just naming like what's happening. And so I'm trying my best to like give nuance. I'm trying my best to just be as transparent as possible, transparent to like perhaps like a wild degree, but like I don't give a fuck. That's what I'm saying. Like, but my thing is this: fuck working for McDonald's and Starbucks. It's like how we boycott how are you telling me that we're boycotting McDonald's, but then you're telling me like, oh, I can go work there, like. I'm sorry, but like, I just feel like there's a lot of fucking like bullshit being said, and I'm just really tired. Like, I'm just really tired, you guys. Because it's the same people that are like, we're not going to McDonald's anymore because they support Palestine, but you want me to go work there? I just feel like that lets me know what you think about like people who work at McDonald's. You think that they're people that are just shiftless and like they just ran there to go work there. Like it's like that's not what it is. When I see people at McDonald's these days, it's like a lot of times like single parents. It's a lot of single parents that need to provide food and money. And they're able to provide both from that job. Like that's why I'm just kind of sitting here like, whoa, Rachel, damn. Yeah, no, there's like that's why I'm trying to create my own lane, and I know that that's probably taking more time than they care to offer me, but I'm gonna still keep on working on the timeline that makes sense for me. And if I end up in a shelter, I end up in a fucking shelter. Like I have plans for Monday to be doing things, but again, like I just feel like when you start talking about how people are treating you, like things start moving very quickly, and so I already said in the beginning of this, I was like, I need them to escalate for me to get out of here. And like that's what sucks. It's like I have to take a fucking hit psychologically, perhaps physically, emotionally, like so that I can like fucking transition out of the space. And like I came here because I'd already taken a hit. I'd already taken an emotional, psychological escalation. However, I was not detailing what was happening in the Hazel Park house because again, I was really like avoiding the fuck out of like that white person that didn't like me. I was like, oh, I can just avoid them. At this point, I am aware that just like I'm aware of the person upstairs that I can't avoid, when some white person has an issue with you, they will try to make another white person their ally in that. That is honestly a lot of times what I'm seeing. White people typically need to get a collaborator to fight you, and it's very weird because a lot of times they'll find a white person who's like very much like a bulldog kind of white person who's like willing to like have no standards and like be fucking disgusting, so that other white person cannot look like the bad person. And that's what I'm noticing a lot of times. It's like there's a white person that's pretending to be good. There's a white person who's performing like they get it, and they don't. And then at some point, one of them cusses you out. So I'm just like waiting for the white lady upstairs to cuss me out. Like I'm honestly, like I'm being so for real. The playbook is like very fucking like it's easy at this point to see. It's so easy and it's weird. It's like I'm just waiting. Meanwhile, also, I texted the people next door and was like, you should give them like at least a little bit of money from the rent. They tried to tell me that it was disrespectful for me to have texted them about the rest of the rent. And I was like, that is so bizarre. Like, you're mad that I tried to get the rest of the money that they owed you? Wow. It just feels like I can do anything and I'm gonna be wrong. I can do what I perceive as the right thing to do, but it ain't. And I get it, like they're worried about them like harming the house and like doing some fucked up shit. But it's like I don't feel like they're those type of white. Like they're definitely the type of white to like be not talk to you and shit. Like they're the I'm not gonna talk to you white people. They're not the well, I don't wanna speak for them because I don't fucking know them, bitch. Who knows? But it's like I'm over here trying to help you get your money back and you're over here like I told you not to text them and I was like, yeah, you did. But then once they decided to leave, no, bitch, I'm not on nothing. I'm not on nothing. I'm here on a verbal fucking agreement. So I don't know how long that entitles me to the space, but I'm not trying to stay here longer than I have to. Like my absolute plan is to get some work done on Monday and just keep on keeping on, bitch, with getting my fucking ID. Like, I feel like that's all I can really do. Because leaving here before I get my ID doesn't make any fucking sense. However, if it has to, it has to. If I have to leave, I have to leave. Like, again, I'm not fighting anybody to stay here, but I am trying to, like, just move the fuck around. That's all I can do. Like, I can't do more than that. And as I said, like, unless a white person is like threatening you, or doing something that like is explicitly like against you, like people will really act as if, oh no, like you're fine, you'll figure it out. And it's like, I'm not. And I'm not figuring it out. There's nothing to fucking figure out. Like me being here, me getting my ID, like that is what's gonna help me be successful. And they're acting as if I'm on some sort of timeline that like they've set up, that they've created all of a sudden to like tell me that like, you know, it needs to be sped up, it needs to happen like this or that. And like I just feel like there's no Here's the thing. They never told me they didn't want assistance like until after the fact. And like when they told me that they were moving out like without giving any notice, McDonald's does support Palestine. And when they moved out without any notice, like I'm like, what? And they're like, yeah, they're moving out. So my thing is this: when the people next door are like saying like fuck you, I'm not going to give you any more rent, I'm not thinking that you're going to like be mad at me for like engaging them about like what's the right thing to do. And it's not like I'm like purposely like not trying to like obey what they're saying. It was genuinely like, damn, like y'all are moving out and they just fixed the furnace that y'all just cussed them out about. That's fucked up. Like if I didn't hear about their money issues, I wouldn't have said anything. Like I just thought I was being helpful. But again, like I think that this is a moment where like I'm autistic and like I'm literally just like trying to be helpful. No, I mean, you're saying that after the fucking fact, babes. It's already done. Like I already got involved, I already got cussed out for it. Like there's nothing else to say about that. Like it was a bad decision in retrospect. And I think that again, like what someone thinks is the right thing to do apparently is subjective. I don't think so. I feel like if I catch you fucking somebody over and they only know you because of me, I'm gonna say something to you. I am. And I don't think that that's a problem. However, someone thinking that that's a problem is that's valid. Like I'm not here to like make it seem like they have to be on my type of time. They don't. But it's very clear that like I need to be on their type of time, and that's the issue that I'm having. That like they're telling me one thing and then doing another. They're telling me I need my space back and I'm like, "Okay, heard you." And then they're like, "Oh, I thought you were going to like what?" Like it's like I feel like they said that they don't see any motivation in me, and I'm like, I'm not sure. Exactly, Eris. Like it's not like I was like trying to like fuck with them and like be an asshole. Like I literally was like, hey, like you gave those people a lot of leeway, and I still have text communication with them, and I'm gonna be like, hey, like, you should. Again, like, this situation is very fucking wild. Like, I'm living with someone who is, like, on a fixed income. Like, they were getting rent from these people next door. I genuinely thought, like, saying to those people, like, hey, can you not fuck them over wouldn't be a bad thing. So that's that. Exactly, Sydney. Like, I'm not gonna beat myself up about that because, again, like, I think that, like, when we're talking about like the right, what's wrong, it's extremely subjective, and like that's something that you just learn as an adult. Like that, like no one tells you that like some people will really think that what the right thing is to you is wrong. Like that doesn't really fucking like come up like in conversation with adults and children. Like it's something you learn as an adult that like you may think that you're doing the right thing, and then oh you didn't. Oh, you actually did something really goofy, and oh now somebody's mad at you, and oh now you feel silly, now you feel like an asshole. Now people think that like you're trying to be in drama. Like that's what they kept saying. They're like, oh, they're like you're bringing all this drama. I was like, drama. It's just feeling very femphobic because it's like I'm actually like being transparent about a lot of things. I'm actually just I would never live in New Orleans again. I'm really trying not to be a gentrifier scum bitch for real. I feel like even being in Detroit is crazy, but that's where I'm at. But I'm not gonna live in New Orleans again. I feel like I would love to live in the South, but I don't feel like there's any ethical way for me to live down there. I'm gonna be so fucking for real. I'm a Yankee Doodle. I'm from the North. I'm gonna try to stay my ass up here and make it work. I'm trying to not be taking over the South because like the South, like there's so many people in the South unhoused that need housing. Thank you, Tyara. Tyara. I hope I'm saying your name. Tyara. It's a beautiful name. Thank you for coming through. I appreciate you. But yeah, no, like I'm just genuinely trying to fucking exist. That's it. I'm not trying to fucking convince anybody that I deserve their support. If you don't believe that, that's okay. I'm okay with that. Um, but yeah, like I just feel like I'm just in a space where like I just mentally cannot. Oh, awesome, Tayara. I think it was Tayara. But yeah, I don't mentally have the capacity to be like trying to fucking really go back and forth with nobody, babe. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. I see my worth. I know that I am worthy of fucking treating with compassion and kindness and care. And this is not me trying to say that there hasn't been compassion, kindness, and care here. It's just a name that, like, the ways that people are expecting me to operate have been made clear to me, finally. Tayera. Okay, cool. Beautiful. Um, but yeah, like, I can't compete, bitch. I can't compete. Like, I'm not going to be operating the way they think. Like, I feel like they have a very old mindset on, like, how somebody with no transportation during a pandemic is supposed to be getting back on their feet. I'm trying to keep this house warm. I'm trying to stay warm myself. I'm trying to motherfucking keep my clothes clean, you know, because I am looking forward to my interview at this coffee shop. Like, that's all I'm looking forward to right now, is getting this job at this little coffee shop. It's a coffee shop slash laundromat, bitch. About to have the cleanest clothes, about to have coffees and teas galore. That's what I'm focused on. I'm not focused on nothing else. So if anybody says that they see me not doing nothing, not hustling hard, that's okay. I can't convince you of anything else, and I don't want to even try. So I say all that to say, just thank y'all for being a witness to, like, just me existing. Because that's all I want to fucking do, bitch. I want to exist fully. Like, that's my only desire in life at this point, is to exist fully. Because I'm very aware of how much I haven't. I'm very aware of, like, how little I've actually, like, just got to be. And so that's all I want to do, is just be, you guys. I don't want to do nothing more. Right, a coffee shop laundromat. And they give you a free hot drink. Like, as soon as you get up in there, you get a free hot drink. That's so nice. I'm so excited to eat my stew, bitch. Like, honestly, I forgot to add onions. That kind of makes me sad. But that's okay. But yeah, like I said, I forgot to add onions to my stew, which is distressing slightly. But I'm very fucking grateful that I get to fucking eat a nice hot bowl of stew that I made myself. I feel so accomplished. Yes, I made the stew. You know, I had to do it for the one time. Yes. I had to stew it up. I'm not gonna lie, I think I added way too many fucking potatoes. It is very potato full, but that's okay, because it's gonna thicken it up. Ain't nobody mad at a lot of potatoes. Yes. Mmm. It smells amazing. Yeah. I'm so grateful that I ended up making this beef stew. Because, babe, my energy is low. Like, when they told me they don't see no hustle, like, when they told me they don't see no hustle in me, I was like, wow, that sucks. Because it's like, I just feel like when white people tell you that you're not doing enough, it just be hitting a certain kind of way. Like, it's like, damn, like, me? Like, I'm not giving? Wow. Like, you just be kind of shocked. Like, it's like, damn, like, you really said that. Okay. And don't let you actually be doing every fucking thing that you can for yourself. Like, then it's extra shitty, because you're like, damn. Yo, do not be in my bowl, dog. That's crazy, Scrammy. You're a Caucasian cat. Mmm. Babe. Babe. Mmm. I wish I would have had a bone in there, though. That's the only thing I regret. I wish I would have had some bone. Oh, my God, bitch. Oh, this shit came out good. The thing is, I should have put. Here's the thing: there's not enough broth in it. Like I put way too many potatoes, bitch. And so because I did so many potatoes, it wouldn't make sense to do the rice at this point. It's just better to do a soup. And the beef is shredding. It's what you want. It's what you want. And the red wine would have really hit it. The red wine would have really hit it. But it's okay. Bitch, I'm not no shady hoe. She could have some. I'm not shady. She be asking me. She asked me yesterday if I wanted something from the store, and I tried to get some sasson, but bitch, I have woke. Bitch, did anybody else wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning yesterday? I'm trying to see something, cause there's a couple of us have not been sleeping real good. But yesterday, 4 a.m. I don't know why I was up. Wait, what your mom be doing? Here's the thing. When black folk do this to other black folk in terms of like just be acting like, not seeing what you're doing, not seeing you work hard enough, not thinking you deserve things, like they're perpetuating colonizer ass energy. Black folk did not create and do not originate in this way. I really want us to consider black and brown people been in community with the earth, with each other. White people are the ones that said get a job, get a house, become an owner, become a controller, become a dominator. Like these are things that were created by white people, y'all. Please, like just know that whenever any person of color is doing that shit, they're trying to become the colonizer. They're trying so hard, because the colonizer is it's a project. It's a project, colonial project, babe, colonial project. And so that's why I'm trying my best to be humanizing the person I'm living with, because again, I don't think that they're not a person. I just feel like in this moment, they're trying to hold me to a standard of the colonizer, one that they do not meet themselves. And that's what's even more fucking alarming. Like when people are not meeting the colonizer standard, they will look at you and be like, well, you neither. Meanwhile, you're not even worried about that. Meanwhile, you're worried about so many other things. So it's frustrating because again, I'm not worried about someone not seeing me be a colonizer. I don't want to be a colonizer. That's why you won't see that in me. But I don't want to be operating under assumptions either. I like to be direct, and I feel like that shit be hurting people who want to talk in code and be passive aggressive. Like being direct really does put you in fucking danger. And some of us know that, and some of us will find that out. It's unfortunate. Real talk. But I already know. I already know what time it is. Like I already know what time it is, babe. Trust me. That's why I prioritize making myself a meal that's gonna last me several days, bitch. Because I don't know what I'm about to have to go through. But I know I'm gonna have some soup. That beef, so tender. Yes, lack mentality. Bleh. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It's like I know that shit is bad when someone who needs the money from that house is like, you cannot live there, and is making up a goalpost that perpetuates that, like, I don't deserve housing. Like it's just like, sweetie. And like people won't see it. People won't see how like they uphold systems themselves. People won't see it, but it's important for us to name it, because as I said, I'm not gonna be the last brown person that they're around. I'm not gonna be the last brown person that they interact with. And maybe moving forward they'll be more compassionate, because it's like, honestly, it's like the way that they treated these white people. They never let these white people be out without lights, without like these white people got their needs met all the time, and they were not being pleasant, loving, kind, and gentle, curious. And it's just like funny how like you can be operating in a way that is with community in mind, and people would just be like, fuck community, because white people fuck them over. I see very clearly how this is going. And so I don't want to ever make it seem like I'm not like I'm not like connecting dots. Like I really am, and I have no choice. That's a function of white supremacy. Is me having to sit here and look at how white people are operating to make sure I don't die, because the standards that are getting lower and lower and lower are dangerous. If the standard isn't communication that's clear, that's dangerous. Like it's dangerous. And so if we want to talk about dismantling white supremacy, we must dismantle from inside the house. Okay? And I'm calling to all mixed people with a lot of white friends. I'm calling to all people who have white friends, period. Like, if they're really your friends, hold that fucking standard, because you're not going to be the last person of color that they come in contact with. And honestly, if you have the privilege to be an oppressor in any situation, it's up to you to be really holding standards up for these white people, because like these white people will really token us and have us be around them as a signifier that they're being good white people. At this point, they've elevated and escalated to just like having brown babies. Let's be clear. But that proximity does not keep us safe as light skinned people, as mixed people, as people who are not deep dark skin, like as people who have proximity to whiteness. That doesn't keep us safe. So let's be clear. And I'm again, I'm not trying to. I have no idea because I don't see other people of color around them, and I feel like that's another layer to this, is that I know that there are people of color in the school system, in the therapy sessions. Like there are people of color in the child's life that are also in the parent's life, but it's also like, where are the regular friends? Where are the homies? You know what I mean? And so that's what's stressing me out about this, is that I feel like they're not taking note that like I am one of how many brown people in their proximity, and they have the insight to know that like getting my birth certificate, getting my social security card, like it's not easy, it's very challenging, and like they have a bird's eye view of a type of poverty they are not at, and they're not appreciating it. And again, you cannot make anyone appreciate or see your worth or see how worthy you are. They either do or they don't. And I was telling my friend this last night in a voice note. I was like, honestly, I was like, if people are ever making you question like your worthiness, you're in the wrong room. You don't need to be rising to their occasion. You're in the wrong fucking room. Because you're going to walk into a room and people are going to see you for all that you are and know not to play with you, or they're not. And I feel like we have to just start taking that for what it is. Like some people really can never appraise our fucking worth. Some people can never see how worthy we are, babe. And that don't mean that we gotta fucking try harder. There's nothing to try harder about with me at all. I feel like I'm very much a curious person, very engaging. I love to communicate with people, and I love to just hear what's really happening. Like I don't like to fucking play games with people. I'm a very direct person. Like literally last night, like one of my old clients from when I did sex work hit me up, and I literally was like, honestly, I'm very sorry for robbing you all those times. Like I literally am at a point where I'm like, you know what? I'ma just be real. Like if somebody comes back into my life and I've done something that I don't really like and that I don't appreciate, I'm gonna bring it up. And so I'm bringing up me robbing this man, and he's like, I accept your for apology, I forgive you, do 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 do, and now he about to pay my friend. You feel me? Because I don't really want to work with him, bitch. Honestly, it's just too much. Like you rob somebody a couple times and you don't talk to them for a long time, and then it's like, do you want to start talking again? It's just too much. You know what I mean? It's just too much. I know I did it, and I know I did it, but I was like, girl, I got a friend that's in the business. Let me pass along a client. But I appreciate you for reaching out. You know what I mean? Because again, I'm never trying to live like I ain't never did nothing dirty to people. Like what the fuck? I ain't never trying to live. I'm never trying to be out here acting like, oh, I ain't never did nothing grimy or fucked up. Who the fuck hasn't? And you would do it too for a check. Let me stop. But I'm just saying, like, I'm not trying to act like. I'm sorry, bitch. I'm sorry. I wanted to finish it, but I'm not employee of the month. However, but I literally was like, I never want to be acting like I've never been a shady person. I never been out here moving wrong or moving in bad faith. Like, I think that that's very important to know that I have. I think it's a very important thing to acknowledge for yourself. Like, I've moved bad. Like, I've made moves that just didn't make no fucking sense. I've hurt people. Like, let's be clear. Like, I don't understand people who want to run away from a critique or a call out, because honestly, babe, honestly, thank you. Uplifted. Because why the fuck do I want to be holding on to harming somebody like it's something that I should be proud of, or something that I don't want to correct, or something I don't see I don't see as a wrong thing. Like I'm pro like validating all victims, even if they're fucking mine, bitch. The fuck? Like I've been a harmful person for sure. Like people probably got so many things to say to me or about me. That is real. Like I don't ever want to gaslight anybody who thinks that I've always been like moving in good faith. I have not. I absolutely have fucking not, bitch. Like I really do feel like I have been unlearning narcissistic fucking tendencies and traits and motherfucking behavior. Like I have been trying to unlearn that. But at the same time being raised by narcissists and trying to fucking unlearn like the ways that they've dominated you, controlled you, that's going to take a lifetime it feels. It don't feel like it's ever going to stop. I feel like I have to constantly be monitoring how I'm treating people because I have had standards be low for me. I've had people have very low standards for me. So raising the standards for myself means other people's standards get raised too. That means that my standards raised for how the fuck I'm treating you and vice versa. So with that being said, if someone's harmed by me and they bring it up to me, bitch, that's a fucking moment to acknowledge not just for yourself, but for that person. Cause like honestly, there's nothing better to me than having conflict with someone and clearing that shit the fuck out. Who the fuck want to be going through something with someone that they consider a friend and not uplift it and not be, you know what I mean? But I feel like it's a learned behavior. And I actually watched a video recently. I wonder if I can find it because maybe I can't, bitch. I don't know. But I want to just play the audio because this shit was so fucking poignant. Like, it really hit me in the fucking pussy. Like, it really just gave me something. Like, for real, for real. LMAO, did I really delete? Oh, no, I didn't delete. Amaze. Okay, let me find this shit. Because I sent this shit to the bitch that I have conflict with. And I felt like it was so necessary.
Girlies, fans, those of us who are socialized as women, we have a problem with clear and direct communication. We have been so socialized to avoid conflict and confrontation at all costs that it sneaks out the sides and affects all of us. And it occurs across the lifespan, from girls as young as 7 to as old as 70. What happens when we have conflict with each other? We triangulate somebody as the middleman between us. We gossip and vent to other people, so we spread rumors. We try to suppress and pretend it's not bothering us, and then the resentment builds. Or we become super passive aggressive, and it comes out as relational aggression. All of this because we don't know how to be uncomfortable and say, "You hurt me. I'm still mad. That affects me. I'm not over it." We try so hard to be the cool girl and to be perfect in front of each other that we don't talk about our real issues. And what ends up happening is I hear all these stories where people are like, "We were best friends for 10 years and then we stopped talking. I don't know what happened." And when people do bring issues with us, we are so uncomfortable by this confrontation that we don't know how to handle it. So we either shut down or become defensive. It hurts my heart to see so many women lose friendship and connection because we don't know how to hold conflict with each other. We've got to normalize saying what we mean and meaning what we say and sitting through the discomfort of disappointing each other. And sitting through conflicts with a desire to see and be seen rather than laying blame or being right. Girlies, fans, those of us who are socialized as
That was a moment. And like I said, like I sent this to the person upstairs and they did not respond to it. And I felt like that was a moment to acknowledge that like we may not have the tools to communicate with each other. We may not have the tools to understand each other. We may not be at the same place, you know? And like I can't lie, like in some conflicts, like I'm not necessarily like trying to see the other person. I'm not. Like sometimes I just want to be seen one-sidedly. Like absolutely. I absolutely acknowledge in some conflicts like I absolutely am not capable of lending myself, of stretching myself to that other person's perspective. That's absolutely a real thing. And it's a socialization thing as much as it is like just a fear of being too candid. Cause like that's the thing like white people don't appreciate is like the more candid a person of color is with you, the more dangerous it becomes for you to not be hearing them. Like, I'll give you a case in point. So there was a moment where like I think like the last conflict I had with Heather or whatever, I literally said I was like honestly the only thing that I could do is beat her ass. Like that's the only like real thing that I could do. And like me and my friend are talking about this situation, and they're like, yeah, they're like, somebody needs their ass beat. And I was like, that's the thing that sucks. It's like we're not like wanting to be violent towards anyone. I hope no one's getting that. But it's like at some point it's like people are operating so out of like punishment, so out of like colonizing energy, that people are like, the only option is to beat your ass. Like, and it sucks because it's like honestly, like moving from love and compassion, I'm not drawing that conclusion, but I was like, I appreciate the analysis, because it's like there have been times where I'm like, the only thing I could possibly do is beat your ass. And it just sucks because it's like, I don't want to beat your ass, but when it comes to that conclusion, it's just kind of like, honestly, that means that there's been violence against you that you couldn't name, that you couldn't like be held in, that you couldn't be seen in. And so, of course, like the logical next step is to be felt. You feel me? And I hate to say that, but I feel like that's very much some colonizer shit. Like, to feel like I it's beyond talking, it's beyond communicating. I have to beat you. Like, I'm gonna be real with you. Like, it's colonizer shit on another level that is underappreciated still. Because again, like, how do you fight? Like what is the resistance to that? You know what I'm trying to say? And I feel like that's perhaps what people can't appreciate. That like the resistance to the colonizer will be the colonizer getting their ass beat. Like, that's what people don't want to think about. Is that the resistance to colonial violence, to pillaging, to rape, to conquest is actually you getting your ass beat. So it's very frustrating because it's like nobody really wants to go there, because again, the oppressed is never supposed to take on these same tactics as the oppressor. And so that's what really we're talking about at the end of the day, is that like when the oppressed get to that point, obviously things are very bad, but no one will appreciate how bad those things are because they've been covert. They've been things that aren't seen as violent, seemingly as much as someone physically engaging will seem. And so just the layers of violence, and like how to even get to a point where you're in fight or flight is honestly taking you out of your body, you're dysregulated. Like, there's so many layers to that. But if we only take a snapshot at after you beat somebody ass, we're never gonna go do that work to go backwards and see like where you, like how you got to there. We're just gonna be like, wow, you are there. We're never gonna see how you got to there. And again, I'm not trying to make a case for beating people's ass. I'm just trying to say that oppression really does have the oppressed mentally in a circle. Like, I've been harmed, I'm processing the harm. I don't appreciate the harm. And again, sometimes if you're disconnected from yourself, you'll be like, I've been harmed. And then like the next thought is like, well, I deserve it. Well, I'm poor. Well, I owe them money. Well, they're doing something nice for me. Well, they're my mom. Well, they're my caregiver. Well, they helped me this one time when I was doing real bad, and like I forever feel indebted to them for the rest of my life. Like, in fact, until I die, I will do anything for this person because I feel so indebted. Even though what they did for me was an act of love, and me giving myself like without any limits or boundaries to them is actually self abandonment. But we don't talk about that. So the cycle of thinking when you get to violence, like, honestly, it's like you're appraising it appropriately, in my opinion. However, the reality of engaging white people with the same violence that they're operating with in a way that's physical versus emotional, mental, like, those are things that we do not talk about, because dismantling that would give way for a whole new understanding of several experiences that people may have experienced, where they're like, damn, I got my ass beat, but I actually deserved it. Like, you feel me? Like, they're like, have dismantling that, going into that combo would actually have some oppressors sitting there like, well, you know what? When they bopped me, I had already been bopping them in other ways that nobody actually was gonna validate. So when they bop me and they check me physically, that's the only time that I stopped harming them. Like, that's a conversation the oppressor may never ever tell you, but that actually is like sometimes the way that it goes. You know what I mean? Like, they've been harming you for so long, you finally harm them back. Now they're leaving you the fuck alone, and you're like, and you now, as perhaps the victim and the motherfucking, the liberator, like, you're sitting there fucked up. Maybe you're feeling bad, but really, like, that empathy that you're extending, like, it still may not be extended towards you. Like, it may never. You may always be the bitch that beat their ass. And so I think that's a thing. That's a part of discomfort. I feel like being that person. Like nobody wants to be the person that's beating people's ass. Like we don't want to be the person that's causing harm, right? But we also have to hold that there's some people that are causing harm, and once you name it, you become the harmer. Once you name the harm, you become the violence. And so I feel like if I could quote Sonia Sanchez, the master's tools are masterful. So it's very fucking wild. Like, again, this conversation is so fucking nuanced and meta. And I know some white people will never be able to hold that, like, someone of color may have got you back, and you actually deserved all that shit and more. And more. And you may be sitting with how you were a colonizer and you were harming people as maybe a non black person. And was like, yeah, well, when they did beat my ass, I did leave them the fuck alone. I did learn my motherfucking lesson. Maybe you did. I feel like there needs to be more stories shared like that because at the end of the motherfucking day, if you're causing harm to people and then people get you back, it's like we must talk about that. We must talk about what liberation really looks like, what fucking resistance looks like. Because people will say liberation don't look like violence, but I disagree. I disagree. And I feel like while I disagree, I'm also holding that like, who the fuck want to be violent? Who the fuck wants to embody that? Who the fuck wants to embody that? And I think that that's the other thing too, is like rage has a place in resistance. Anger, intensity has a place in resistance. And a lot of times, like activists like that we see on the world stage, like their anger is like offered to us through speeches, through communication, through direct action. But we're not getting uh the full rage or the full intensity of the activist. Like, and I feel like people will cry, people will shout, people will scream, but the true rage of the fucking oppressed is destruction, of course. Like, the resistance that's happening in America, people talking about boycott, but there's also people shutting down things that we're not getting information from unless we're watching TikTok and YouTube. And I have been, so that's how I know about these things unfolding. But most people are just like, damn, what's going on in the world? Like, I'm not saying everybody, but I'm saying a lot of people are just like, oh, like it's COVID, it's the economy, but it's also like anti-blackness, mostly anti-blackness, massage and war, elders becoming extremely fucking vocal for the first time in some ways, in some cases, about abuse, narcissism. Like, the internet is honestly the spring that like unites every fucking resistance movement, and that's just the truth. And like being on apps like TikTok, being on YouTube, like those are ways for people who are part of the resistance to tap in and connect. And so I know that maybe not everyone here is connected in terms of like resisting anti-blackness, but resisting anti-blackness is listening to people who are. Resisting anti-blackness is is digging in deeper and listening and connecting and connecting the oppressive dots, because anti-blackness is many things and called many things, but it is all anti-blackness. Listen, I feel like unfortunately for me, I recently learned that autistic people only live to 39. And I'm gonna be so for real. There's a part of me that's like relieved. And there's a part of me that's like uh just shocked that like there is like enough information about autistic people to say that like we are not making it to 40. Um and so there's a part of me that's like, maybe that's bullshit, but I can understand like why a lot of us are gone, and a lot of it is like suicide. Like, trigger warning, sorry for just bringing that up out of nowhere, but like just saying, like a lot of people with autism, a lot of neurodivergent people, like at some point, like we do just like, are like, damn, like our life is actually really fucking hard and we're not going to ever be like everybody else. So, and I'm not there. I've been very distressed about being autistic and like just trying to navigate the world that like doesn't really operate the way that I am seeing it possible to operate as. It's frustrating, like how many people are masking, and also just unable to stretch themselves empathetically to other people's experiences. And it's just been like really fucking distressing to just know that like even amongst like other neurodivergent people, like there's a lot of fucking weird energy and like a lot of like just a lot of strangeness, you know? Because I do think that like some people who are like some people who have ADHD I think look down on people with autism when like between me and you, I don't think ADHD exists. Like I understand that like someone's gonna like maybe fight me with about that and that's fine. I'm not saying that people diagnosed with that don't exist and their disorder or their ways of existing rather, not disorder, but their ways of existing are not like something that should be noted, but I genuinely think a lot of this shit is autism, and I think because it can't be medicated and because like we require compassion standards to be raised, there is an issue. And the issue really again is just how little people put into the existence of a human. Like there are a lot of us who were kind of left to fend for our fucking selves. Even if we had a parent in the home, they were working, they were busy, they were choosing fun, whatever the case may be. Like there was maybe a village but it was spread out. Like there's just ways that like people with neurodivergence like just don't get to have a full life, don't get to like be fully held and like be accommodated. Like someone telling me that like I'm not like motivated be and we have completely different like brains, it's kind of weird because it's like yeah, I'm not going to be motivated in the way that you may be thinking I should be. But I get a lot of my work done in the night. I feel like I'm not really like a morning person. Like I'm not really like get up at 9 a.m. and like go person. Like that's not how my fucking body works. Like my body is not a morning body. I'm definitely someone that like wakes up around 10 and like actually like brain is like coming on at like 1. Like I'm waking up at 6 o'clock in the morning. Like I'm not that person. And I feel like being pushed to like to a standard that like again like was just revealed to me. It's kind of like damn, everything that I am is wrong. Like, and that's like what it is to be an autistic person, is like just existing and people just constantly commenting on like how you're existing in a way that's like just not right to them. And it's like, wow, I would never say that to someone. Like the way that someone's like existing in this world, especially during turmoil, like I don't I'm like looking at them and I'm like, do you think that I'm like just you think I'm just like chilling? You think I'm comfortable here? And I'm not saying that to be devaluing their home. I'm just like, you really think that I'm just like in comfort and like just living life? Because I really think that I'm coping and I'm doing my best. Like, that's how I feel. But again, you cannot make someone see like what you are doing or what you are or how you're operating. Like, you can't make someone see that shit. They're either going to see you and they're going to hold space for you or they're not. And I just feel like at this point, like, I'm just trying to keep a record of like conversations that were had because again, clearly somebody who knows this person put me into their life, put me into their space, and like I don't want to be operating under secrecy. Like the white person that lives upstairs was like talking about how like whiteness be using silencing tactics. It's like it's so fascinating how you can see like how whiteness be moving, friend, but like you don't implicate yourself in that. Very fascinating. And I don't trust them enough to like even bring it up again because it's like honestly like I just don't want to be in any kind of conversation where like I have to be again revealing like that y'all actually don't know how white supremacy is operating because you're enacting it on me. Like I can tell that you don't understand how white supremacy operates because of the things that you're doing. Like and it really shouldn't be on me to like be fucking calling that out. But I don't have community with like better white people. I just don't. My God. I really bitch. Ooh, that fucking beef. I'm crying. And not the pathologies. I don't know. I just feel like when it comes down to it, like I'm just always surprised at like white people. Like I hate that I hate that about me. But like I'm constantly just like learning information about them and I feel like again like I feel like that's why I mention like being a mixed person and being a lighter skinned person and like just like betraying my privilege in particular ways, because again, there are white people who may watch me. Well, stop trying to scratch me. Wild. There are white people that watch me that may have brown children, may have brown people in their lives, and I need y'all to know, like, you don't know anything about white supremacy. You'll never know, you'll never understand, and all you can do is ask questions. And if you're ever at a point where you're talking to a person of color and you're not being curious, honestly, terrified for you, terrified for you, but more terrified for that black or brown person that's in your presence, because there have been moments where like these both these white people in this space have like shut me down in conversation, and it's like, wow. And again, it's like all I can do is just accept that like I can't be curious with you, which means I'm not safe with you. And the lack of safety I have telling you that. And it's just like it's such a bizarre fucking thing. And I hate this. Like I hate this shit so much. Like people really want us to suffer in a particular way, and I just don't think it's real. And I know some people are watching me, and I again, because like I was raised by narcissists, I know how y'all be thinking, and folks be like, oh my god, like you're just eating soup in her house, you're just drinking water, you're just smoking weed at her house. No babe, I'm doing so fucking much. When I come here, I'm literally releasing, trying to like be present, trying to be here with you. But babes, when I get out of here, I'm doing dishes. I'm going to fucking pack up some of my things, because again, I've been trying to sell this fucking PlayStation. I've been trying to do so much fucking stuff to get the fuck up out of here. So I'm gonna keep on doing what the fuck I'm doing. I'm gonna keep on doing that. Because people are going to see whatever the fuck they're going to see. They're gonna see me smoking weed and think I'm having a good time. They're not going to see, oh, this bitch is regulating her brain so she don't fucking scream. Like I have such a big scream, but I know if I did it, it would be there'd be consequences. I have a lot of screams. I screamed yesterday talking to my friend, and I was just like, ugh, like that intensity that like you just can't show to white people, because next thing you know they call them the Capianas. Like I'm telling you, like I got a lot of shit to say, but I'm trying to keep it super fucking cute, because at the end of the fucking day, the thing that matters the most is that like I just maintain my fucking dignity and do not like give in to any fucking low ass motherfucking low vibrational ass behavior. Like I'm gonna keep on motherfucking communicating. I'm gonna keep on motherfucking saying what the fuck I need to say. Exactly. And like I'm not saying I'm gonna scream at anybody. I don't wanna scream at people. I just wanna scream into the sky, bitch. Like I wanna call, like, bitch, I wanna call to my ancestors like so bad. And like I called to them the other night. And I know they hear me, I know they hold me down, but bitch, like I have so many things to cuss to the earth. Just so many things I wanna say. And I know that the white people that are here are not trying to hear me. They're just not. Like I feel like once a white person names like, oh, I don't think white supremacy is happening here. I feel like it's just that quick. It's just that quick for it to slip to where you're like, fuck. And now I'm like, well, damn, I forgot to put the peas in it too, bitch. The onions and the peas. It's okay though. It still came out. I put the whole twig of thyme in there, bitch. I was being serious. Wow. Wow. The flavors. And everything's tender, not mushy. Honestly, it's the small things, bitch. Damn, and I have a whole crusty bread too to cook, but I don't know if I'm gonna even do that. But I should probably cook that crusty bread soon, though. You know what? I'm lying. Oh, my friend Royal's gonna come over. Oh my god, y'all are gonna meet my friend Royal for the first time. I'm so excited. You're gonna meet the homie. Whoa, I forgot that y'all never met Royal. But yeah, no, you're about to be my bestie. Honestly, I feel like we've gone through so much, like three much, bitch. Honestly, we be going through, but we on the up and up, ho. Meryl Streep, you always show love. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Mara, indeed. Indeed, the world is not built for autistic people, for people that are mentally disabled. Like, it's not. And that's the other part that sucks, is like being mentally disabled is something that like has like I've never thought of myself as mentally disabled. Like, I've always just thought like I was just not for the math and sciences. Like, that's just what I have always thought about my own mental health. Like, I was just like, oh, I just am not good at math and science. And like, that's what I always thought. Like, oh, like things aren't really grasping me. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't think too deeply about it. But the more that I like do a deep dive into like stimming and um fucking echolalia, and just like the ways that like autistic people and neurodivergent people be operating, like there's just been so many moments where I'm just like, ooh. So I just want to be candid that like I'm um I'm a self-diagnosed autistic person. I was diagnosed with ADHD when I was younger. But my mom told me that she did not like how I was acting when she gave me the medication, which is another moment for me. But yeah, my mom said she didn't like how my behavior. Um, but when I think about it, bitch, I don't know if people be on TikTok and have seen this like series, but there's a series called Cigarette Mom. And bitch, if you had a cigarette mom, my heart goes out to you because I had a cigarette mom. And just like their aggy ass energy and shit, and how they be sometimes, because bitch, if they don't got a cigarette or a soda, bitch, they're really gonna beat your ass. Like, they're really not gonna be all the way there. You know what I mean? Very dependent on that cigarette and that motherfucking soda. So with that being said, like, there was just like this video of this person. I'm so mad that I just like popped out with that. But like basically like it was just showing like how quick, or just how like volatile, you know, the cigarette mamas be. And like I just think that that's like what I went through a lot like as a kid. Like, my mom was just very much like, yeah, she was just very short tempered, very much didn't want to do too much, because like, low key, smoking cigarettes, you're not about to be running around with your kids outside. No shade, like, not to be mean, but like, you're probably not. Like, if you a blunt mom, maybe, probably so. Like, a blunt mom will get high and go have a good time with her kids, probably. But my mom was a cigarette mom, bitch. She would just be smoking that shit, get anxiety, and just try to calm down with a Pepsi. So I'm just trying to say, like, if you had to deal with that, um, that's on top of me already being neurospicy. And my mom is neurospicy, very much neurospicy. But she don't be getting her diagnosis. She don't even be looking at, she don't be talking to the lady. Bitch with the cigarette be hanging and dangling and shit. She be talking with it. She be outside in the summertime sweating on the cigarette. I'm like, God damn. People that smoke cigarettes in the summertime be blowing me, dog. Especially when I be in the South. I'm like, bitch, you basically smoking a hot pepper. Like, what's going on? Like, I swear. I don't know. Like, it's just something different. But yeah, she'll definitely use a cigarette to point at you. Um, yeah. But yeah, I have a cigarette mom, bitch. And so, but like me being neurodivergent and my mom being a cigarette mom, and like just how I had to feel like I have to like get it together, you know, like I have to mentally be aware. Like, I feel like that's part of like the narcissistic colonizer shit, is like I'm always being judged by like the standards of whiteness. So me being thought of as dumb as like a non-white person, I took that shit very seriously. Like, I took that very seriously. Like, trying to elevate mentally so that I would be uh not seen under this like stereotypical gaze of whiteness. Like, I was literally worried about being perceived as not smart more than I was worried about being perceived as anything else. And in retrospect, it's like, what the fuck is smart? What the fuck is brilliance, anyways? Like, when we really want to dissect it, it's not what the fuck I was ever working towards or embodying or even going towards. Like, I was just trying to appear like I was smart. And I feel like a lot of that appearance of smartness is really just like capitalistic bullshit, colonizer bullshit, lookism, beauty culture. Like, there's a lot of ways that like people try to operate like they're better. And that's a part of like intelligence. Like the concept of intelligence is even like so bizarre when you really 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 think about it, because it's like, what do we mean? What do we mean when we're saying like we're being smart? What do we mean? Like, I hear people saying like, oh, it was smarter for me to buy instead of rent. What do they mean in that context? Like, were you smart, or did you just have generational wealth? You know what I mean? Like, I just feel like there's times where it's like people be saying smart is an interchangeable thing for other things that are not about being intelligent at all. So that's why I'm like, when I was a kid, I thought that being smart, and when I think back to things I said as a kid, I was constantly telling people about jobs that I heard about that made a lot of money. And I thought that was being smart, was telling people, telling other adults, like, oh, I'm thinking about this field that I want to go into. That's how I thought I was being clever. I was being smart. And in school, like challenging my teachers and like trying to uh, I don't even know, like argue for things. Like I thought that was a part of brilliance. I thought that was a part of smartness, is like finding ways to like get around authority. Like there's just all types of ways that I thought I was being smart. I thought I was being intelligent. In retrospect, I feel like the only intelligence that really matters is emotional. I feel like if we're not being emotionally intelligent, what the fuck is the point? Like what is the point of anything else? But I know that like in the world we live in, people are like, no, like you gotta be street smart, book smart, you gotta be this and that smart. Like it's like ah, I get it. Like people want you to be business savvy. Like it's like, oh, all these commercials are like, let me teach you how to manage your money. Like there's so many commercials of white people telling people like, you're not a poor bitch, you just don't know how to manage your money. And it's like, sweetie, you have maybe $30 at the end of your check, and that's gonna go to DoorDash. That's gonna go to your weed. That's gonna go to whatever the fuck. Like it's not gonna go into an IRA account and accrue wealth. Like it's not, and I don't mean that to be disparaging. I'm saying that like people are like making it seem like all the poor people in the world are just bad at money management. Meanwhile, you don't have any money to manage. Like, and it's not like I'm trying to be shady. I'm just saying like the cost of living and what it is. It's like they're really playing in people's faces, being like, you just don't know how to make your money work for you. What are you talking about? I swear, the commercials be scaring me. Every time I turn around, hi, my name's Kate. I am working with whatever the fuck place I'm working with. I'm a woman who knows how to use money. A lot of women don't know how to use money, but I'll help you. Just give me your money, and then I'll teach you. Bitch, I'm sorry, but it's just so funny. It's like a lot of women don't know how to manage money right. So give me your money, and I'm gonna teach you. And it's like, what you gonna teach her? Because right now you're teaching me how to be a scammer. Right now you're teaching me how to gaslight somebody and tell them like you just don't know how to make your money work. Meanwhile, they need you to give them money for them to teach you how to make your money work. And you don't even know if this is a sound fucking investment. That's the first thing that I'm noticing. Like, how do I know that I should invest in you, sweetie? What can, like, you should be offering me some kind of like way to show me that working with you is gonna make the fucking sense. You know what I mean? Let me get a free sample of the money management you're offering, babe, before I give you my money to manage. But that's not happening, is it? You gotta pay into the scam, and then the scam scamming you, and then you gotta be like, take my card off the shit. Then you gotta delete the card. Like, it's just like, whatever. This is why I'm not invested in this fucking shit, bitch. I already know. I already fucking know. It's not meant to make sense. So I'm not gonna make it. I'm not. But I'm really excited. I feel like when my friend Royal gets here, I feel like I'm gonna probably just shut this live off and then come back when they're here. Um, but bitch. Honestly, it's a lot of good things happening. Like in the midst of all the bullshit, bitch. In the midst of all the bullshit, like one of my friends is helping me out, like, and we're getting on the same page with shit, and I'm really loving it. We're communicating really clearly, really effortlessly. It's really beautiful, and I'm loving that about our friendship. I'm loving that, I came to them two separate times and I felt like I wasn't being supported, and they heard me, and not only did they hear me, they changed their fucking behavior. Oh my fucking god. Like it's shit like that that like lets you know I'm in the right fucking room, bitch. Like I made a request and you heard me. What the fuck? That's why I'm not chasing nobody. If you don't want to be a part of my community and supporting me, I'm not about to chase you for that. That's wild. That's wild. People invite us all the time to like be a part of their life, be a part of connecting with them. People are inviting us all the time. If people are pushing you away, accept that shit. I accept it. Yes, I appreciate your no. Cause think about it. When someone enthusiastically says yes, think about how that feels. So special. Such a special thing. Sidebar, bitch. If you never had miso soup, you should check on it. Because I had a sample yesterday and I've never had it, but I was like trying to go out of my comfort zone. And I've had like a free miso soup offered to me. And I like for like on a side for like a meal or something. I never got into it. I tried this miso soup from this black owned spot. Oh my fucking god, bitch. And they have like this like hoisin fried chicken there. My god, bitch. It's like honey barbecue hoisin. Bitch. It's like black anime nerds just opened a restaurant. It's out of control. It's so amazing. And all they play is like early 2000s music from like the radio. Bitch, I heard what's love got to do with it, babe. Like literally enjoying it. But anyways, but yeah, no, like my friend and I, like we like have been communicating through this because like when they first met me, I was sleeping on a couch. Like they've seen me go from sleeping on a couch to fucking living in a nice house to fucking living in a goddamn random ass bedroom of a baby. And they're just like, bitch, this is crazy as hell. Like, let me tap the fuck in. That's it. And so us connecting and collaborating has been amazing. They are talking about like trying to get a house. They're saying that they would love to live with me. They would, yeah. I'm a cry, bitch. I'm a cry. I would love a ginger ale, like a can of ginger ale. I do not care. I would even take a Fago. Yeah. Thank you. I love you. I'll see you soon. Bye. Best friend. Honestly, like, bitch, that's what I deserve. Like, at the end of the day, like, I have my friend asking me, can she get me something on her EBT? If you can't get me something on your EBT, if you, like, honestly, let me stop. I really appreciate that though, honestly, because, like, EBT, they don't be giving this to everybody, girl. I've seen people get rejected, and it was real crazy. But yeah, like, I know what friends are. Like I know how friends move and like I'm appreciating what they've done for me and like I don't want to come off as ungrateful. I just feel like when we're talking about white supremacy, we're talking about something different than like ungratefulness. And I feel like that's the conversation that needs to be had, right? Like when a white person does something that makes you feel unsafe, makes you feel disregarded, makes you feel hurt, makes you feel slightly traumatized, like there has to be a space to talk about that that doesn't impact the friendship. And honestly, maybe that's not the case. Maybe it has to impact the friendship. Maybe the friendship, the relationship, the acquaintanceship has to fucking alter, has to shift, has to grow, has to expand. Like maybe there's no way to just be in community with white people without that reality that like they will constantly need to be shifting in relationship and sitting with discomfort and asking themselves genuinely who else white they can turn to be in that. Mara, I'm dead. But nah, like I'm just grateful that again I'm not I like I love y'all because hanging out with y'all is the opposite of being gaslit. And I hope that y'all take that as a high compliment because, like, I mean it so hard. Like, being in spaces online and just seeing, like, some of the devil's advocacy and the way we're thinking. Like, I just saw somebody today say that, like, light skin privilege wasn't real. And you know I tapped in and sent some links trying to fucking correct the conversation and redirect it to like people that know what they're talking about and people that could be benefiting financially from people seeing their content, and also raising the fucking standards, because it's like if you're about to be out here talking about light skin privilege don't exist, it shouldn't be dark skinned people tapping in on that. And just like with this situation that I'm going through with this white person, it shouldn't be people of color tapping in. It should be white people tapping in. And I would really strongly suggest like white people who are in attendance here or white people who see this video, just consider that if you hear about white people doing some fuck ass shit to somebody of color and you don't tap the fuck in, bitch, you're a part of it too. And you're a scumbag. And that's how I feel. It shouldn't be on someone who's marginalized that try to be fucking hold the standards up. We don't have the scaffolding to do that. And even if we try, we're putting ourselves in danger. Just consider like when you're a white person and you can see that something is not right, it's fucked up, and you have the privilege to say that and not have to bear any consequence other than discomfort. I need y'all to fucking hold that. And I'm hoping that people will hear what I'm actually saying. Sometimes it is on the more privileged person to intervene and say something. Mara, I'm not optimistic at all. I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful, but I don't know if I got any more optimism in me, bitch. I'm hoping. I'm hoping. But I don't know about optimism no more. Really just hoping. But I tried to say this in the last live, like my Jupiter sign, and Jupiter is like your lucky planet, like how luck comes to you, how you receive gifts. And like my Jupiter is in Cancer, and like the affirmation that I read was like a trap door under a rug, and that's how I've been feeling this whole time. Like, did I know that I was gonna be able to come here after the stuff that I went through in my last housing? Not really. I was hoping that this would be like at least a moment to strategize. It has extended longer than even I wanted it to be. Like, I didn't want to just be here just fucking like getting my fucking, I feel like I was about to be like, I don't want to be here just chilling. But it's like it's not even about like chilling. It's like I didn't want to be here like taking up too much space. Like I really feel like I left a situation that was really fucking scary and then like tried to unravel emotionally, and I really think that like I'm responding like a human in crisis. And I don't want to be like being a part of any kind of like just just harm to myself, like trying to see myself through like someone else's lens. Like I just don't see myself like that. Look, I have a healthy ego. Like I know that I'm an annoying person at times. I know that I can be frustrating. I know that my ways of doing things can be like not how someone else would do things. I have a lot of ways of operating that in my opinion reflect like my neurodivergence, but also reflect my desire to stay curious and stay in something, like not just like abandon because of discomfort. But again, I think that just because I feel like transformation and shifting is always possible, other people don't feel like that, and that's okay. And I can't even say that I always feel that because I feel like that's a lie. I feel like for some people there is no transformation. For me, what I've seen and the amount of privilege that they had and the amount of like access that they have, like meaning that they could like unlearn on their own time and they're choosing not to, those things do play into whether or not I feel like a transformation is possible. Like with the white lady upstairs, I have no desire to see her shift anymore. I have no desire to see her transform. I have no curiosity with her anymore because I feel like she is such a in my opinion, volatile person who like does not consider like her impact like very much. Like I feel like when people are telling her impact, she'll say things that are like very bizarre. Like she was like, she's like, I'll sit with my privilege or I'll try to check my privilege. Like, what does that even mean? Like, it's just moments like that that like have me sitting here like, yeah, I couldn't see me like being a full person around you because I can already tell like certain things you've done have like minimized certain other people's experiences, and there wasn't a lot of empathy. And so I think, like, again, like, I'm just trying to regulate and I'm trying to model regulated behavior. But that video where I came in and I was like, trigger warning, crying, trauma, like, I was coming off that conversation and I was feeling extremely dysregulated. And I don't want to hide that experience, because the reality is like, just because I'm not crying right now and out of sorts right now, that is still a part of my intensity. It's still a part of why I'm being so fucking direct. It's still part of like why I'm being so fucking candid with y'all. Like, I know that like when you're online and when you're talking about you need help and you're in a fucked up situation, like people will like see you crying or going through something like very like viscerally, and really like take it as like more serious. And then also we'll see a video like this and be like, oh, you're fine. And it's like, I'm not. In both videos, in both instances, like I am the same person. But in that original video, like I was literally coming off a conversation where they're like letting it be known very much so, like, I'm kind of good on you. Oh, my bestie's here. I'm so excited. Word. I'm about to smoke outside with them, but I'm gonna introduce y'all. And we may come back, we may not, but they may not want to even be on fucking cam. So I'm just trying to hold all the realities that my friend could be holding. And if it works out, then you'll meet them. But if it don't, it don't. Hey, yo, would you be okay with being on live real quick? Can I introduce you to the live real quick? Okay. Do you want to be on cam eating your snack? You want to wait? I know it looks good, but I don't know if you're trying to just kick it.
That's cool.
Okay. This is my friend Royal. They're a bad bitch. One of the baddest bitches to ever do it. Oh, ooh, I think I was holding the mic. But yeah, that's my friend Royal. They're a baddie. They're out here.
With the Snickers in hand.
With the Snickers in hand, living life. They're a Taurus. And so, big Venusian energy right now. I got that Taurus rising. So, it's all the bull hoes. Wait, Taurus the bull? Hey, all the bull hoes. Anyways, we're gonna catch up and they're gonna try my stew. Yo, I'm gonna make some crusty bread. You want some crusty bread? I'm gonna make the crusty bread. But yeah, then you're gonna get to see if I'm a good cook or not, because honestly, they would not lie to me. They would tell me if it was nasty. So, anyways, I'll be back. We're gonna do a little taste test. I love you guys. Bye.